fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the pieces faster and faster. Competition's on, I'm ready to compete. I'll finish that puzzle right under your feet. Putting every piece in its perfect place. Time ticking, heart racing. Gotta keep up the pace. Feeling the adrenaline is running through my veins. I'm the puzzle king. No one can beat my games. Jigsaw puzzle is my obsession. It's true, I'll conquer them too. The thrill of the chase, satisfaction I see. I'll complete the puzzle in the blink of an eye. Puzzling is my game, you know I'm the master. Fitting all the
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a 1,000 piece speed puzzling competition on a Sunday morning. I have to say in advance, don't freak out if you see different colorful papers compared to your own one. We did use multiple papers. We kept coming to the end of the roll and grabbing another another paper, so there is some variety there today. What's important is that your sticker says number 81, 1,000 piece competition for today. Yeah, so everybody's getting ready, and yeah, I'd like to welcome my host, my co-host for today, SJ.
Morning.
Good morning. And you even have it a bit earlier today. It's not 10 a.m. where you are.
No, it's almost 9, but that's not too bad.
That's dedication. Yeah, so those in Britain are starting 1 hour earlier, and those in Finland are 1 hour later. Yeah, so something which I thought was really cool is SJ had some really good fun ideas for different themes that we could talk about. We couldn't use them all today because, yeah, we can only have one theme of the day, but I did settle on the question regarding speed competitions in general. So, besides puzzling, what activities do you think would make a good speed competition and why? And yeah, so that's a question we also asked our participants. But yeah, I'd like to start with you, SJ. So what activities do you think would make a good speed competition?
That's a good question. I think I talked to Dan about that, and I didn't have a good answer, to be honest, but I liked one of his answers, which he said loading the dishwasher. He is very fast at it, to be fair. So, and that's kind of like in our house, that's his job. So, so he's had lots of practice.
Yeah, no, that's a fun one because I'm sure there are a lot of people. I mean, dishwashers can be a source of tension in the household. So yes, it is a good idea if it's like one person's activity. There is often the right way, and then somebody else, yeah, has their way of doing it. And if you put things in, and somebody will come along and correct it and make it as efficient as possible. But yeah, once somebody does it and it's their job, then sure, they can get really fast at it. I also like the idea that you suggested was parallel parking. Is that something you're fast at?
I'm not too bad at it. I think that was something I came up with when I was talking to Dan, but I would not win any competitions at that, but I'm not bad at parallel parking. But I just know people who are really good at it are very proud. They're like 1, 2, 3, and they're done. And so I thought that might be something someone enjoyed doing.
I would be very impressed to watch a parking competition because I have to say I am a terrible parker. Partly because I have a very long car. I have a 9-seater van, and
Gosh.
the parallel parks in Trier are terrible. It's very stressful, and it's in a city, so I can never parallel park. It's just always way too short. I can only park in a parking building, and even then parking buildings are not made for 9-seater vans. So I have been known to do a 40-point turn to get out of my parking space, with my front sensors beeping, my back sensors beeping. So it's a high stress situation for me. So I'm definitely not the one to participate in a parking speed competition. Yeah, but we had some fun comments from our participant. I'll just read out a few. I really like what Jörn wrote. He said, so the question is, what would make a good speed competition? Something that's not already, or something that's a bit unusual. He said anything with fixed rules, but flexible challenges, e.g. logic puzzles, randomized games, speed excelling, or coding. So that's an interesting one, doing spreadsheets like in a fast. Maybe that is a thing, having like a set task and you've got to make certain formulas and calculations as quickly as possible. I could imagine some math nerds would really enjoy that one. I prefer a mix of mental and physical challenges, so jigsaw puzzling is pretty much ideal. That's a really good point, because jigsaw puzzling, it does involve the mental challenge as well as the physical. So a few people mentioned making household chores fun. Making household chores a speed challenge would make it more fun and get things done quicker. So Katarina from Austria said, doing household chores. It could make doing household chores more fun if you start a little speed competition with your spouse or your flatmates to see who can do it the fastest. You could turn it into a little Olympiad with different disciplines. Well, I have watched a video where they said set yourself a 10-minute timer and then just try and do as much cleaning as you can in that 10 minutes, and you'll find you'll be surprised about how much you can actually do in 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's I use that tactic too. I think Dan does as well. But it's one of those things when you don't want to start doing, tidying, because it feels like it'll take so long. But if you set a limit, then it's much easier, and then you get tons done.
Yeah. So yeah, some good tactics there. Well, actually, before going to the World Championship last year, I tried to get into the mindset of being a speed puzzler also when I wasn't speed puzzling, because I was told that I didn't have much urgency when I was speed puzzling, and it was like, where do you get this urgency from where you can just kind of like boost yourself and just like go into it? And then so I would tell myself while I was speed puzzling, I am a speed puzzler, I'm a speed puzzler. And then I started saying this to myself whenever I would find myself being a bit slow. Like we have quite a big warehouse, and to get from like my office to the warehouse and to find the shelf and to do these things, I would find myself just spending a lot of time in the warehouse just walking. And then I would tell myself, I am a speed puzzler. And then suddenly I would be walking, I would be like marching through the warehouse really quickly, finding what I need. And it was just like just changing the mindset.
I'll have to try that. That's good.
Yeah, so when you find yourself being slow, or you're doing something repetitive for like the 20th time, and you're just like meandering along, no, I am a speed puzzler. Like, get that sense of urgency. Yeah, so greetings to all of the puzzling friends joining us on the YouTube chat. Good morning, everybody. Oh, and Frigina says, I can't parallel park to save my life, especially not on the left side of the road. That makes two of us. And Puzzle Fox says the 10-minute tactic works for me as well. That's a good one. So set a timer for 10 minutes. All right, we'll read more of the comments from the participants as we go through and do the introductions, but now it is time to do the reveal. So everyone, you may unwrap your puzzles and also remove the stickers. So we have a lot of new people joining us for the first time. Special welcome to Arya from Indonesia. She's actually in Indonesia. We sent the package all the way to the other side of the world. And we also have some Americans participating. Min is joining us as well. So from both sides of Europe, from over to America, over to Asia, we have people participating. So really glad to have all of our participants here. We have around 85 participants. And the time limit is 3.5 hours. So make sure that the stickers are removed so that the lid comes off easily, and then place it back in the middle of the table. Looks like there's a poster. Yes, there is a poster. So you may take out the poster already and just put it on the table if that's something you'd like to use, or put it in your stand. And then we will be ready to do the countdown. All right. Looks like we are ready to go. It is 10 a.m. and let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Puzzle. Good luck, everybody. All right, I'm going to show you what we are working with today. We have Chromatic Tales from Penny Puzzle. So I met Betina from Penny Puzzle. This is a Danish brand when I was at the big toy fair in January. And it's taken a while to get this in here. We had to get it specially ordered, but I'm really grateful. She was really keen to work with us. So we have a vintage selection of color palettes, kind of reminiscent of an art studio. We also have a puzzle with some birds and feathers in the top corner. So yeah, here we go.
I feel like this might be a bit of a Marmite. People either love it or it's not for them, maybe. I love it though.
Yeah, are you familiar with Penny Puzzle?
I've heard of them. I've never had one before, but yeah.
All right, yeah, so I'll start. We just had a couple of last minute registrations, so I'll just add them to my spreadsheet before we do the introductions. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start at the letter L today. So we have Laura from Hungary, Lenka from Slovakia, Lynn from Germany, Lisa from Denmark, Lynn from Belgium, and Marcia from the Netherlands. And I just want to point out, I got an email from Lynn Schiffman this week. Very exciting. She is organizing a bigger and better competition, speed puzzling competition in Dortmund in Germany, using her own puzzles. So she designs her own puzzles. She's an artist and she's already printed her own puzzles. And there's going to be a big competition next year. So more details will be coming out about that in the future. But yeah. So at this stage, we are just seeing the flipping. I mean, the flipping with a 1,000 piece puzzle, yeah, it takes a lot longer, especially if you're going to be doing some sorting at the same time. Have you done a 1,000 piece solo, SJ? Do you know roughly how long it takes you to flip?
Yeah, I'm not sure I've timed my flips in 1,000, to be honest. I do 1,000s, but I've never been too careful about my flipping, I guess. But I would say it takes me more than twice as long. I'm guessing. I think it takes more than twice as long as my 500 flipping, just because it just kind of slows down at a certain point, kind of like with everything in 1,000.
Yeah, I find it. For me, flipping is like the most boring part of doing a speed puzzle, and like for me, my flip is around 3.5 minutes, and for a 1,000 piece puzzle, it's more than double that, because I've also got trays. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, what's going to go on this tray? What do I want to get out of the way straight at the beginning? So that's something very important, is like your table management. Like, is there like one color that's just like way too much that you're like, okay, if there's a huge blue sky that takes up 50% of the puzzle, it's like, well, you're not going to start there. So maybe just get all those pieces out of the way. So I'm doing a lot of organizing at the same time. And I'm just like, oh, this is so boring. This is taking so long. So I think it takes me about 12 minutes to kind of get everything flipped, have at least 1 or 2 piles sorted, maybe the edges, maybe the color, also a section that I want to start on. But it does feel like an eternity when you're just like flipping and just moving pieces around.
It's interesting in pairs as well. You just think like, am I the one taking too much time here, or is it my partner?
Yes, so yeah, lots of people in the chat this morning. So greetings to, well, we have a lot of people joining us. So Jacob, Marie, Fruji, Misha, Lena. Oh, is Lena participating? Oh, Lena's not participating. Okay, so that's why you're in the chat. Siobhan. Greetings from Julia from Austria. Guz's there. Sandra, Ali Pali. So lovely to see you all there. Let's see who else is puzzling with us today. So this is a type of collage, which I really like. I feel like collages is one of my favorites. You have, let me count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have about 20 elements on the page. So it's like each palette or each poster, they kind of lay it on top of each other. You have a blue background. So it's very carefully laid out. And so you can tackle it. It's very clear sections. You can just tackle one color palette at a time. There's probably a better name for that. Actually, we do have the publisher Betina from Denmark. She will be joining us after the introductions, and she's going to tell us more about this puzzle, why she designed it, why she chose it, and a bit more of the background about it, and also how she got started with her puzzle business. So we look forward to speaking with her later, and then she'll have the correct terms for what these different sections and posters are called. So on screen right now we have Marguerite from South Africa, Maya from Finland, Melina from Germany, Mandy from United States, Maria H from Finland, and Maria N from Norway. Yeah, so we can see from Marie Nielsen's camera angle some of the pictures there. You can see like some of them have really big round spots. So one of the palettes has a lot of colorful spots. So that's probably what she's pulling out right now, because you very nice one.
I like Marie Nilsson's answer for the alternative speed events and grocery shopping, which I agree with. I don't enjoy grocery shopping, so the faster you can do it, the better.
Yeah, I think there's two mindsets there. Like, so for some, it's like just go there and just get it done as quick as possible. For me, I guess because like I have so many things going on in my brain and so many appointments and things to do. For me, going shopping is actually kind of like a mini holiday. Like it's kind of like I can actually just go and relax and just focus on one thing and just kind of take my time and just, oh, what should I cook? Oh, this vegetable looks good. But I think my husband's a bit more like just go in and just get it done as quick as possible.
Yeah, I wish I were faster. I'll say that.
Yeah, so Lena Beata says, I'm not the biggest fan of speed puzzling the 1,000 piece puzzles, so I didn't join this time, but seeing this puzzle, I got a bit jealous. I have to say, I really enjoyed this puzzle. This was really pleasant. I mean, I liked it, first of all, just from looking at it. I really liked all the, like the little rainbows that you see across the cover, and the different way these color rainbows are arranged. So from that side, it's very pleasant, but it was so much fun. And I think it would be really lovely as a casual puzzle for anyone. So even if you're not a speed puzzler, I would encourage you to get this one if you like the look of it. It was really, really fun. But it also makes an excellent speed puzzle because each of the sections has a border. Yeah. So you can just tackle it section by section, so which makes it really an excellent speed puzzle as well. So I think people are going to really enjoy this one. So yeah, still at the flipping stage at 8 minutes. So not much to see yet, but we'll keep on moving. So we also have Marina. Marina is from Sweden, and then we have Marcus from Estonia, Melanie H from Switzerland, Milika from Finland, Min from United States, and Mooney from Germany. So Min is joining us, I think it's their first time. I don't know, maybe she has participated once before. Anyway, she's one of the top speed puzzlers from United States. I like her Instagram page. It's called Min Cognito, and she has I can't remember it exactly, but it's something to do with incognito and a dog and a corgi, and she has a corgi dog. So it's very cute.
Yeah, you got it right. It's Mincognito.
Mincognito, okay. Incognito with a dog and a corgi, and Min, of course. I also liked her pair's name with Emma, Emma Pan and Min Dang, and their pair's name together was Pandemonium, something like that. So that was pretty cool. All right, so at this stage now we're seeing most people have flipped. Oh wow, Mooney is already starting to build. This is a very interesting strategy. So she's got the pieces in the box. She's pulling pieces out that catch her eye and placing them already exactly where she thinks they belong. And she's already started to build one of the ring shapes very clearly. Very interesting there. Whereas Marina has got her boards out, and yeah, it looks like she's separated possibly the border. There's like just the light bluish pieces off to the side out of the way, and she's using the white background to assemble. And also Minding has already got the one of the inner rings done.
I think Mooney must be a parent of small children, because her alternative speed event would be getting children to sleep the fastest.
Who was that?
Mooney.
Mooney, yes. Oh, I thought that
Yeah.
was a good one. So a speed competition of getting kids to sleep. I think we need that because there are a lot of parents who need some magic tricks to yeah help them in their daily daily struggles of putting kids to bed. I'm sure there are some super nannies to the stars who have these tricks. And Fuji says that her mum is the same for her going to the grocery store as her therapy. Yeah, and well, I can't pronounce it, but Fixie says it looks like a lot of little gradient projects. It is like that in a way. I mean, there are some block colors. Some of them have very defined borders, and then there's other ones where it is very much like a gradient because the colors do blend into each other. So yeah, no, that's a good observation. I didn't actually consider that when I was doing the puzzle myself. Oh, so Ruth Schwertberger, the image is very overexposed. It looks very white. I don't know if there's a light shining onto it or it's angled towards the sun. I'm not sure, but well, if it's possible just to correct that. If not, I think we'll manage to see that. Okay, so on screen right now we have Nadia from Germany, Nora from Finland, Patrick from Switzerland, Rachel from the UK, Rika from Finland, and Ruth from Switzerland. So Nora is going directly for the border. Yeah, so with the border, I ignored it at the beginning because I looked at it and I saw that there was a blue background and I thought, oh no, it's basically white pages on a blue background. However, there is a lot of variation in the whites because when I finally went to do the border towards the end, I realized like there is like a really crisp white, like the image with a feathery back with the feathers and the birds, that is like a really crisp white. And then you have others that are a bit more old worldy, vintage looking. They're kind of a bit more like a creamy sepia color. They have that aged look. And so if you are someone that really wants to start with a border, it's okay. It's not as bad as I thought. I kind of felt like once I actually got to do it, like, oh, I could have done this sooner. But of course, there are more colorful elements that jump out.
It's interesting. I have been in competitions with Rachel Chambers, but I've never been able to watch her in a competition before, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so Rachel just kind of appeared out of nowhere and has been doing really well in the Puzzle Guzzle competitions. That's the online speed puzzling events for the United Kingdom. So yeah, she's been doing really well, and she's also one who's coming to Trier, and is going to be in the team London Puzzling and Accessories. Yeah, I like the view from Patrick that we have. We can see he's going straight away to the most colorful elements, and you can see like the less colorful elements, the whites and the blues, he's kind of just got spread out like a rainbow, like in an arch above his puzzling space, but he's going straight for the bold colors.
And I'm excited to see how Rika does because, well, I always am, but she did so well in the 50 plus club the other day. So I hope she's on a streak now.
Yeah, so Rika says that I feel like most things that could be turned into speed competitions have already been turned into that, including, for example, turning wool into yarn and knitting. That's interesting because I didn't know that there were competitions for even in the, how would you say that? So the embroidery, knitting, fabric type, what do you call those, handcrafts?
Well, I crochet and I consider that like fiber craft, but I don't know if that's just the way I call it or not.
Stephanie K, your screen has turned off. Oh, it says looking for the phone. Okay, it looks like there might be a connection lost with Stephanie K. It is her birthday. Happy birthday, Stephanie. Hope you figure out the technical on that side. Oh, there you go. There we go. Got it back on. Got those nice colors forming. So we have on screen Sandra from Switzerland, Sophie from Germany, Stephanie K from Germany, Susanna from Germany, Susanna K from Germany, Susanna W from Germany, and Tammy from United States. Yeah, so we can see a lot of people are starting with those larger rings. They definitely stand out. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you've done a penny puzzle. I can tell you it is actually the same factory as the same quality, so it's the same quality, the same piece cut as the Budapest puzzle and Sunshine puzzles, and I believe also the Enjoy puzzles. And actually, the next printed puzzles from our brand, speedpuzzle.eu brand, we have actually switched to this factory as well. It's from Turkey. They have fantastic quality. I love the feel of the pieces. They just feel so smooth, and the piece cut is fantastic. So I love the quality, and so if you haven't used the penny puzzle, and if you've used one of the others, you can imagine how good it feels. It's just a pleasant experience. Have you also done any of those brands, SJ?
A Sunshine. I for my birthday about a month ago, my big asks for my gifts were the Burgerman collection. So I got all the Burgerman puzzles from Sunshine. So yeah, I'm familiar with the feel and the cut and everything, and it is good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember seeing your story that you got the Burgerman collection for your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So Susanna W, she says that she did a Lego speed competition at a company event. So that would be fun. So that might be like a fun team building event, or just for a little fun race, just to give everybody a Lego set and see how fast you can go. And she suggests another possibility would be cocktail mixing or making butterbrezel.
I have to ask, what is butterbrezel?
Well, bretzel is a pretzel, but it's like the big ones, not the hard crunchy ones, but it's the big one that you might find like as a takeaway food in Germany. And the butterbrezel is the one that's been sliced in half and spread with butter.
That sounds nice.
But yeah, I don't know how that's a speed competition. Making butterbrezel. Are you already taking the complete pretzels and slicing them in half and buttering them, or are you actually making them from scratch?
I've seen a video of pretzels being made in a factory, and the way they tie them up is incredibly fast. Obviously, it would be in a factory, but so maybe it's the tying of the knot or something.
Yeah, maybe they have the lumps of dough, and then they have to stretch them, and then they have to like swing it around, and then they fold the knot, and then it's like. No, that's also fun. Sometimes you see like bakery videos of people who do the same thing over and over again. I saw something once, some Instagram video. What were they doing? Making croissants or donuts or something like that, and they had to do it like 200 times. So they got really quick at doing this particular motion. So that was for them like a speed competition, but it was also basically just getting their work done faster. And Sandra agrees it's called fibercraft. Okay, so all those things like knitting, crocheting, turning wool into yarn go into that. And so now we're finding out that those are also can be done as a speed competition. And Sandra also says that the same manufacturer also does Trevel from France and Olio. Okay, I'm not familiar with Olio. All right, so on screen right now, we've got Tobias from Sweden, Veronica from Norway, Veronica from Slovakia, Vicky from Hungary, Wendy from United States, and Victor from Poland. And greetings to Veronica from Lina Beata. She's cheering you on from Norway. Okay, so on Victor's table, we see most of the colorful elements have already been pulled out, and like maybe 2/3 of the border.
And I think if I was tackling this puzzle, that would be my beginning strategy as well. It would be Victor's, what he's doing. Not as fast though.
Yeah, Tobias has also made great progress. We can see also many of the rings forming. And I can see a big chunk done on Veronica's. I mean, it looks like there's like a big white section. What could that be? So one of the posters, yeah, it's just because of the reflection, or also the, unfortunately, the lighting through the window. it's not so favorable from this camera angle, but I do see a lot of connected pieces. So also making great progress there. Veronica V has, yes, you can see she's exceeded her frame for 500 pieces, her allowed table space, but we also see a lot of mini sections coming together. And Wendy has started with the border. Yeah, so Vicky is doing her pick and place method. She has got the border to just get the dimensions correct, and now she's does her style of picking up a piece, holding it to the image, finding the image, and trying to place it roughly where it belongs. So how would you tackle this one? You said you would also go for the bright pieces. Are you someone who likes to go for the border early on a 1000 piece just to get the dimensions set up?
I would say in 1000, I tend to do the edges a little later, unless there's something I feel like it will help me, like in a collage, like it might help me frame out the different sections faster. But I otherwise delay the edges because I have a small table at home. So 1000, if I put the edges together first, let's say, I would be painting myself into a corner probably just with how small my table is. So yeah, I would do bits of the edge for something like this, like sections of the edge, but not all of the edge until later.
Yeah, I try not to start with the edge on a 1000 piece puzzle just because the amount of space I have on my table. I mean, I do my puzzling competitions on and my general speed puzzling on a kitchen island, and I have a maximum width. I could do it on my dining table, which is enormous, and I would have all the space in the world, but I do try to keep myself a bit tighter, and that I get to using trays. And so my strategy for like extra large pieces so if it's a 500 piece puzzle with extra large pieces, which in the end is the same size as a 1000 piece puzzle, or a 1000 piece puzzle, is that I will pull out the border, but I won't start immediately, because otherwise I just have to shove everything out of the way, and then that messes things up. So I just try to focus on some sections somewhere in the middle, get those built up, and then do the border later in the piece. But for here, we can see some people have some really enormous tables. Angelica and Alexandra have no limits here, and Anna are, so they can spread out as much as they want. Yeah, so on screen we have Aaron from United Kingdom, Alexandra from Austria, Angelica from Germany, Anna A from Cyprus, Anna L from Germany, and Anna R from Finland. Oh, so Sandra says she's done this puzzle. The border on this one isn't easy. I did them towards the end. Yeah, so it's not the easiest because you do have a lot of the same colors. But yeah, once you have other pieces set out, like once you can attach the border to other of like posters and other sections, it does help.
And Angelica here also has an amazing overhead view. I need to ask her and Patrick and others with that view how they get it.
Yeah, Angelica's got her Angelica Puzzle Fox. She's got a little fox mascot in the corner. She's also wearing her t-shirt from the European Championship.
Yeah. She was my neighbor in the hotel in Budapest, so we got to know each other. So. Hi, Angelica.
All right, yeah, so let's have some estimations. What could the winning time be on this? We're at 26 minutes now, and we have a 3.5 hour time limit. Let us know in the comments what you think might be the winning time for this. I can tell you from other competitions that we had with 1000 pieces that I think the fastest times was like 1 hour 15, 1 hour 19, something like that. Yeah, but
what was your time, Michelle?
I think I managed this one under 2 hours. Let me just double check. So the name is Chromatic Tales, 1 hour and 56 minutes and 22 seconds. So I was really thrilled to manage that on first time. I'll write the name in the chat as well in case anybody wants to have a closer look at the image.
I'm always ecstatic if I get under 2 hours on 1,000. So
So Aaron, as usual, has an interesting answer. This one sounds a bit sad, actually. The Naki Sumo Crying Baby Festival, essentially a speed contest for getting a baby to cry. That sounds terrible. Who comes up with this? And there was probably also stuff in Schlag den Raab or international versions that's good as well. So what is Schlag den Raab? Is that some random... I mean, I remember like in the 90s and the early 2000s, especially from Japan, they had these really bizarre speed competitions for all kinds of crazy stuff. Like it was, you had to dare yourself to do really ridiculous stuff and to do it as fast as possible. So maybe that was a German version of that. Schlag den Raab. Okay. So Anna L from Germany, she says that some paper cutting artists are amazingly fast. It would be interesting to see one as a competition, although you would also have to combine the time scoring with points for artistry. So that's a good point. It's not just about, especially if it's an art competition, it's not only about doing the art fast, but actually making it look good. Paper cutting, that's also something I'm not so familiar with.
I'm anything artistic I'm bad at, to be honest.
And Anna Rupanen says a good competition would be making a bed, folding the laundry, and other similar household chores. It would be great if I could get them done faster. Well, one tip for making a bed fast is don't have 10 pillows on there.
Where I grew up, you also had to have so many layers on the bed, like a bunch of different types of sheets. So you had 3 different sheets over top of you, or up to 3. You could peel them off if you're too warm. But the older I got, I thought I don't need those many layers, and so it's made it much faster to make the bed.
That's true. When I was in New Zealand, we followed more like the British style, and we definitely had to have like a sheet tucked in there. And when I came to Germany, it was like they don't even have a sheet. They have like the fitted sheet on the underside, and then they have a duvet with a cover. That's it. And I was like, wow, this is actually really practical. You don't actually need that extra sheet. But yeah, it's always depends what you're used to. And then when you go to a hotel, it's like you're fighting at the end of the bed, like you're kicking at the end of the bed to because it's so tightly packed in there.
My partner, Dad, is almost 2 meters tall, so that's like the first thing he does in a hotel is untuck the bottom of the bed.
Exactly. It's like even if I'm short, it's like my feet need to breathe. Like this is like way too tight. They need to be untucked. So I've just switched up the screens, and I'm really impressed with Anami. She's got a lot of those middle sections done out. There's her little unicorn saying hello. And yeah, so she's, totally ignored the borders, going for all the colourful sections in the middle. And Anna Roos from the Netherlands, looks so methodical. Look, she's basically done one section and without doing the border of the section, but like you can see all these little squares around. That looks really good. So she doesn't look like a chaos posit. She looks like, okay, I'm going to do something and then I'm going to finish it before moving on. We also have Arya from Indonesia, Astrid from Denmark, Caroline from Germany, and Catriona from Ireland. And a special greeting to Arya from Mev, sending all positive energy for Arya from Indonesia. And actually, Arya is one of 3 Indonesians in the competition. Sorry, at the Worlds. He's going to the Worlds for the first time. Another one is Nadia. Actually, I have to show Nadia on the screen. She dropped out of the meeting when we were at the ends, so I forgot to put her on. So she's one of the Indonesians, and then there's another person coming. So yeah, if we have time at the end, we'd love to have a chat with him and find out more.
And Astrid's having amazing progress as well. But it looks so neat as well.
And also another greeting from Griselda Araiza. Greetings to Arya from Indonesia. I'm quite fascinated with the background of Anarus. I see another hobby there. Looks like maze, maybe, is it like marble mazes, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If anyone knows, tell us.
I feel like I could put a little marble at the top of the bookshelf or of the drawers, and it's going to roll all the way down and then going to go like on this bigger maze through. But yeah, we're seeing some really good progress here at 32 minutes. It's really, really good progress there. But so far, most people are, doing tackling similar sections. Haven't seen anyone working on the birds and the feathers yet. So Anime says a speed competition could be packing puzzles into a suitcase. So I think a lot of people had practice at that at Budapest, trying to pack their enormous amount of puzzles into their suitcases and bring it home. And Arya says that a good competition would be finding stuff like in a market or at a mall or at an office. It would be fun to see people scrambling around and getting frustrated to find the stuff that they are tasked to find. So kind of like a treasure hunt, but maybe with something a bit more practical. Like kind of could be combined with grocery shopping, but on a bigger scale, like going into a mall and giving people like a task of like 10 items to find, and they have to go in and find them as quickly as possible.
There was a game show I watched growing up called Supermarket Sweep, which was essentially that in a supermarket, giving them tasks to find specific items, and it was such a good game show.
Yeah, I think that supermarket employees have like this really good map in their brain, because the other day I was trying to find something. What was it? Kaufland is a really big supermarket in Germany, and I know that Kaufland, where we live, it has a certain layout, and I've come to figure out where everything is. But then when I go to the Kaufland on the other side of the city, they have a completely different layout, and it's just so confusing. And I basically have to park my trolley somewhere in the middle, and I have to just walk in all different directions and try and find things. And then at some point, I asked someone for something specific, maybe something like coconut milk or there was something very specific, which it could have been in multiple sections, and in the end I couldn't find it in the sections that I was looking for, so I had to ask someone, and they were like, oh yeah, it's at the end of aisle 2, just behind, opposite the pasta, towards the end of the back corner or something. And so I have to say, every time I have asked a supermarket employee for a specific item, they can always locate it. So they have a very good mental map.
Yeah, well, they change supermarkets as well. If you could go to the same supermarket every day, and then just like every 2 months or so, they'll change it, and then you're lost again.
Yeah, every time they rearrange the shelves and the locations of items. All right, so we now have on screen Sal from France, Chiara from Italy, Kristen from Germany, Cornelia from Austria, Daria from Poland, and Elena from Finland.
I'm wondering if in Sal's view there, that looks sort of like a poster instead of a box, but maybe it's just the way.
It is a poster. There is a poster in there as well. It's either a poster or a very floppy box.
Oh, I think so.
But yeah, that's an interesting holder there. Is it maybe is that a tablet holder that has been repurposed for a poster holder?
I need a poster holder in my life, to be honest. So I'll have to find out.
Yeah, more and more brands are giving a poster, and sometimes it can be quite useful. I mean, in this case, I just used the box, but I have noticed that some brands like Treffel, for example, they will have logos and they will have words on the actual front of the image, which will be blocking. So if you do use the box for the puzzle image, at least it was with the 2x500, maybe not so much with just a single 500 box. But there are more brands where they have like the logo and 500 pieces and maybe some decorations on the front, and then you are actually missing information. And yeah, what was it? With the triple puzzle we had, where there was the double trouble, the words 2 times 500 was actually blocking a cat. And at one point I picked up a piece of the white cat and I was like, where is a white cat? Because everything else, there was nothing else on the image that matched a white cat. It was all like laboratory equipment, like astronomy items. And it was just like, this white cat, this does not fit in here. It was hiding behind the logo. So here it doesn't matter so much, but yeah, I think we're going to see more of a trend of posters being included in boxes as we go forward. So Kiara's looking really good. I really like, yeah, her setup. Part of the border is done. Some sections are completely done. Others are just floating. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see once these sections start connecting. Yes. Okay, so Martia is guessing 1 hour and 9 minutes. Victor, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Okay, we need to keep a track on that. But yeah, no, everyone's got working along. Everyone's looking really good at this stage.
I think the guesses so far have been really fast guesses, so we'll see if everyone can deliver on that.
Yeah, I mean, the other 1,000 piece puzzles we had, there was Art Dogs, which was like a lot of mini collages. That one I think was the fastest we've had so far. The other one was Mr. Burgerman. So I've just changed up the screens, and we have Alina S from Latvia, Elisa from Denmark, Ellen from the Netherlands, Amelia from Finland, Everly from Estonia, and Fenna from Belgium.
Oh, go ahead.
So I just saw a comment from Nana from Denmark, who has a YouTube channel, and she reviews a lot of different brands. And I know she is a big fan of penny puzzles because I've seen them in her shelf. She says, I just came from Penny Puzzle's Instagram where she showed that her puzzle is being speed puzzled right now. I'd completely forgot there was an EJJ. Yes, so Betina from Penny Puzzle is watching the live stream, and she will join us very shortly. So I'm sure she did make a picture or share it as a story. I have this puzzle, but I haven't done it yet. I guess when I finally do it, I now have to speed puzzle it while I have this live stream in the background. Yes, so if you have it and you can listen to the live stream at the same time.
Well, Alina, I was just going to mentioned Lego as an alternative speed thing, and that might be the most common answer that people gave, because 7 different people gave the answer Lego. So that's interesting. I don't know if people want it to be, something they would enjoy, or something they know already exists. I don't know.
Yeah, there must be some Lego competitions somewhere, maybe in Denmark.
Yeah.
And Ellen likes to do speed grocery shopping competitions with herself, trying to beat 30 minutes for getting everything for a 4-person family in 2 stores. I hate it when I don't manage it because I have to wait in line too long. So there's the speed puzzling mentality also at the supermarket. So Gaza is guessing 1 hour and 23 minutes. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, so we're still just building up a collection of 1,000 piece speed puzzles in Europe with Times, because we have other, I mean, I know in America they've been doing it for a long time, so there are multiple brands and puzzles that have been used in 1,000 piece speed competitions for a solo and also for pairs, but right now it is still fairly new. But
There's
it's
a long history of it in the UK as well. The Gibson's Championship, formerly British Championship, only uses 1,000 pieces. So our British champion for 10 years has always won doing 1,000 pieces.
yes, that's true. There's because it was always split, so you could choose if you did it solo, solo pairs, trios, or teams of four. So yeah, I feel like the UK also has more experience in this regard. And I have to say, I really enjoy doing 1,000 piece puzzle. I feel like it make me a better speed puzzler because I'm really doing the endurance. Because obviously, as you get faster with a 500 piece puzzle, the time you actually are doing that intense focus and intense like physicality is getting less and less. But when you're doing a 1,000 piece puzzle, you're being forced to maintain that over a longer period.
Yeah, I for the first like 4 years or something that I speed puzzled, I only did 1,000s, but mainly as a pair, to be fair.
So on screen right now, we've got Fleur from the Netherlands, Fortini from Cyprus, Heike from Germany, Helen from United Kingdom, and Inge S from Lithuania, and Inge S from the Netherlands. And yeah, Inge Sino is doing fantastic there. A lot of those colorful sections built out, and she started to move on to some of the less colorful sections. Yeah, so there's the bright, bold primary colors that really jump out, which most people seem to be doing, and then there's like a second level of posters, which are a bit more pastel shaded. There's also one little poster which has like sea anemones or some kind of special sea corals on there. Another one with a globe of the earth floating in the sky. Another little one with like butterflies and caterpillars on it. So we're now starting to see on Inge's that she's going to like the secondary phase of sections, you could say. And yeah, we had some interesting comments. Benna says cooking should be a speed challenge. Oh yeah, somebody else said that as well. I think it was Min. Yeah, cooking meals, because everybody wants a healthy meal for less time. That's a good point. Speed cooking. Fleur is always baffled when she sees people do a Rubik's Cube under 10 seconds. Absolutely. That is just like, I cannot fathom the amount of mental calculations that happen in those few seconds when they view the Rubik's Cube before they actually pick it up, and then how fast their hands move. Heike suggests drawing as a speed competition, so another one for art. And Helen thinks cleaning or weeding. Yeah, weeding is something that gets put off very quickly, or gets put off all the time when you own a garden, until it's like too long, and you always wish, why didn't I do this sooner? So maybe it's you just have to set yourself a 10-minute timer and just go out into the garden and pull as many weeds as you can in that time.
Yeah, I'm a gardener, and little and often is my approach to everything in the garden, basically, because then it's much more manageable.
Yeah, I definitely need to go and do some gardening this afternoon and do some weeding and harvesting. Harvesting is the fun part. Weeding, not so much. Yeah, so we are heading towards. So I started at. Did I start at L? Yes, I started at L. We're now at the F. I feel like I missed Amelia. Did I show Amelia at all? I'm just gonna put her on screen. Or maybe I was just so distracted that I didn't even mention her. And also I missed Nadia. So Nadia G is there. And then let's go back to the eyes. So I'm curious, all the people that are watching right now, what else are you doing? Are you having breakfast? Are you puzzling? Are you just sitting in front of the TV, just enjoying a casual Sunday morning? Let me know what you are doing while you were listening to the live stream. So I've got Amelia Lieberman on screen, Nadia Galaska. We also have Irma from Switzerland and her family of unicorns. We also have Eva from Czechia and Jacqueline, Jacqueline B from Germany, and Jay, just Jay. Is that Jesse Jansen possibly?
Yeah, I think someone put in the chat that that's who that
yeah,
is.
okay, that's so Jay is Jesse. Right.
And Jesse Jansen has my favorite answer to the question, alternative speed events, and it's a competition for the lyrics of "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel. I think that's a very creative answer.
So the winner would be the person that has the fewest mistakes in the lyrics. The lyrics are probably one of the most difficult English lyrics. Okay, I'm going to have to listen to that song very intentionally to listen to the lyrics. Well, I think you can request that song in Tria. How about that? So for those who are coming to Tria, we will have music playing the whole day. So next week we'll be sending out an email where you can indicate your music preferences, and then we will try to include all the songs that people suggest and add them to the playlist. So I think Jessie should definitely add that one. So lots of floating islands, lots of floating color palettes, looking good at this stage. A couple of borders. So let's jump ahead because I really want to hear Betina's take on this puzzle, the inspiration, and yeah, why she chose this image. And what's the story behind it? I'm sure there's much that she could tell us about it. So let's go to the J's. All right, so we've got Jessica J from nowhere. We have Jessie M from Portugal, Jörn from Germany, Karen from United States, Karina from Germany, and Katarina from Austria.
Katarina's answer is along similar lines as others, doing household chores for to see who can do it the fastest. But you could have competition in your own home with your flatmates and or spouse, and turn it into an Olympiad with different disciplines and events. So that's very good.
Yeah, I can imagine that there's like on the fridge that there's a piece of paper with everyone recording their times, and maybe then there's like a battle up, like then the fastest to it, and then battle it out against each other.
A medals table.
I actually saw something like that on Instagram. So there was a guy whose flatmate never did the dishes, and so he was a designer. So then he made it into a game, and so every time that his flatmate did the dishes, he got to move to the next space, and then he could get like a special card which had like extra information. So he made it into a whole gaming challenge with special tokens and things like that, and it looked really amazing, all on the fridge. So it was trying to basically do the gamification of doing the dishes. All right, so almost there. Let's keep moving. But yeah, everyone's doing fantastic. Hope everyone is enjoying the image. Let's just... All right, so here's the last person. We have Katrin from Switzerland with a very nice view there of all these colorful rings, color palettes, gradients, and color swatches. So looking good. And Fruji says, I used to always only do 1,000 piece puzzles. Then I had a rush of only 500 when I discovered speed puzzling. But now I'm also only doing mainly 1,000s. They are the ones I enjoy the most. Plus, when you switch back to 500 pieces instead of 1,000, suddenly it feels like so few pieces and it feels easier to go at speed. That's true. I really noticed that as well. If I speed puzzle 1,000 pieces and then I go to a 500, like a 500 just feels like nothing in comparison. All right, I'm just gonna check in on Victor and Marcia, and yeah, Betina, you can turn your camera on and let us know. Turn your camera on, and yeah, first of all, tell us about your puzzle. Hello.
Oh, hi there. Hi, thank you so much. I think this is so amazing. I mean, watching all these people, I think it's really exciting to see who's coming first with the whole puzzle. It's such an amazing event. Yeah.
Yeah, it's must be quite surreal to see like 80 to 90 people all doing the same puzzle at the same time.
Yeah, it is really, and I think the way that everybody's, or most, the majority has started is very interesting, because it's like, they've started with something that caught their eye, which is exactly all of these color circles and the whole color theory that you get to know a little bit closer in this puzzle. And that it's also what made me create the puzzle. I was deeply fascinated by, the science or the knowledge behind colors from so many years ago. And I thought these illustrations were just too beautiful not to go into a puzzle. So, so fun to see so many starting in the middle and not with the edge, like you very often would do with a puzzle of 1,000 pieces. I think it's a good start, the good way to do this puzzle for everybody.
Mm. And are you the artist of this puzzle?
I am, in fact. So I have created this puzzle with these vintage illustrations, and it's because I am, from hundreds of years ago, where there was no internet, no camera, nothing. I mean, if you wanted to communicate when you saw a beautiful bird, a beautiful flower, a beautiful tree, a knowledge that you had science, you would have to make a drawing, add colors, and just sit and spend just as many hours creating this illustration as you actually do building a puzzle. And I'm just deeply fascinated by the whole vintage world. And that was why I thought, okay, if I wanted to do something, a bit more scientific than most puzzles are, which topic could I work on? So I've been investigating different types of topic, and this was actually the first one. There are more to come in this kind of series, but the more scientific kind of puzzle where you learn something while you build it.
So this is like pre-Pantone. Before there were Pantone colors, there were color wheels.
Yeah, exactly. They did. Yeah. And then, they were sort of working on, so where does, for instance, orange come from? Somebody thought, okay, it must be a mixture of something. The primary colors were defined many, many years ago. And it's all about artists from back then. When you see paintings from the 15th, the 16th, 1700, I mean, they are just amazing. It's like the people or the birds or anything is coming alive. From a painting, and they just did their art, perhaps without having all the theory that we think we need today, So I think the knowledge and the skills that they had also when creating these circles is just deeply fascinating. So that's why. And then I thought, putting it all together, all of these circles and the shades of colors, and then the poster with the feathers and the birds, where the colors come to life in a different way, just worked really well together. So picked as much as I could.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful image to look at, and I knew when I saw this one, like straight away, I was like, oh, I think this could be a really good speed puzzle.
It's interesting because it has appealed to a lot of people, and when you sit and create a puzzle image from older or vintage pictures, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, this fascination, does it? Would other people have the same fascination as I do? Do they see the same thing as I do? But there's something about, you also mentioned it earlier today, something about the images in the larger image. So you have kind of many smaller puzzles in one large puzzle because you have several edges to work with. And from my store, I'm sitting in my store actually at the moment. I have a jigsaw puzzle store in Denmark, very small but quite popular. And the feedback I get is interesting because many people like these kinds of illustrations or motifs for their puzzles, so they can do smaller puzzles in the large puzzle. exactly like your participants today. So yeah, really fun to see.
Well, I'm curious about your store. I think Sandra mentioned that is it in Helsingør? Is that where it is?
Helsingør, that's true. So actually, yeah. So I opened my store 3.5 years ago, and it's in the backyard. You can't see it from the street, but I have some very big signs when I'm open, and it's kind of discovering a secret when you come into this store. And the house is very old. I could, if you're interested, I could just move my camera if you want to see it from the outside.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll just pin you onto the screen so we get a better view.
Yeah. So I start from the outside. It's not a blue sky today. So this is my boutique.
Oh, that's so cute. So those who are puzzling and who can't look, I'm going to tell you, it's like a cute cottage and there's a big bow with a ribbon like above the front door. I've never seen that before. So it's like when you open the front door, it's like you're walking into a gift box almost.
Yeah, it's really funny. I did this bow a couple of months ago, and it was so much easier than it really looks. Also kind of a puzzle, but still really, really funny. And so this is what it looks like. I'm just going to turn around because this is actually our private courtyard. So this is where we have dinner in summertime and grow tomatoes and stuff. But in here is my workplace. And this is where I have all of my puzzles. So of course I sell my own puzzles, but I also sell a lot of other amazing puzzle brands. And so I get a lot of feedback from puzzle enthusiasts, all sorts of people who do puzzles, kids who do puzzles, and then of course I started doing some kids puzzles as well, with dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are very popular. So kids puzzles, 500-piece puzzles, and then most of the puzzles in my store are actually 1,000-piece puzzles. I'm just gonna do it. I have a few larger puzzles as well, but not that many. And then on this table, I always have a puzzle out, so my customers can puzzle while while they look around, feel the quality. So yeah, so this is my shop, and it's the only puzzle store in Denmark. It's so tiny you wouldn't believe it, but I don't know. We keep getting new puzzles on the shelves. So.
It is absolutely gorgeous. It looks so inviting there. It looks like you need to, don't plan anything afterwards, because you're going to go there, you're going to browse the shelves, you're going to do some puzzling at the same time. And I'm sure like people just love to chat to you about puzzles.
Yes, this is kind of a free space. You can come here and you can really just dig deep and not feel weird or anything about it, because we just love puzzles. This is what we do, and this is what we talk about, and all opinions are welcome. And I get a lot of wishes from customers. Could you get this? What about this? Have you heard about that brand? Stuff like that. So I learn every day from all of these puzzle enthusiasts who come, and they come from all over the world, which is also kind of funny. So yeah.
I'll have to visit. I went to Budapest a few weeks ago and went to a puzzle store there, and it just makes me want to travel to everyone's puzzle stores because they're so great. But
yeah, so please do come visit. Yeah, please.
Well, in terms of penny puzzles, I wanted to ask, and Sandra's asked it in the YouTube chat. But what made you decide to start your own brand?
Yeah, so what made me decide was that I have been in the games business for many years. I started just going to get something. So the first games I developed were some quiz games. That was in 2012. They were launched, and a quiz game is always in a language, and Danish is a very small language, but these quiz games became very popular, and they were very popular for about 5 or 6 years. And then, the whole time I missed something with a universal language. And so I started to sell puzzles. I've been doing puzzles all my life, but I started to take them into my shop during COVID and started selling many other brands. And then I realized, okay, I actually have to have my own brand if I want to make this a viable business. And also because as many creators feel, there's something missing. There's something, something pretty, something just different that I want to see in the marketplace. So I came up with the idea to create some small puzzles that were easy to get, not too expensive. You could do them on the go, stuff like that. So I did these mini puzzles, and I was like, okay, I want to do a small puzzle. I want it to be inexpensive, and the name has to, the brand name has to contain the word puzzle, and then there must be a word in front of that puzzle that starts with a P to make it sort of easy to say. And I couldn't come up with it, so I called one of my daughters. I have 3 daughters, and her boyfriend, he's Louis. He is British, and she called out, Louis, my mom's looking for a brand name for her puzzles. So they're small and they're not too expensive. And what should she call them? And he was like, Penny Puzzle. And I was like, okay. So that was the name. So he actually came up with the name. So now it's Penny Puzzle, but it started as something, in a very small box. These are 6 by 6 by 6 centimeters, and the result is like a postcard. So yeah, that was how it all started. So I did these for a few years, and then the larger puzzles came, and they actually didn't come until I found the right manufacturer. That can be a challenge. And Michelle, you talked about the quality, the piece quality, and the boxes, the whole printing process. And when you do a puzzle or manufacture puzzles, you really want to be 100% sure that the quality is good. And I came across this manufacturer, and I'm so happy. And that was actually where I thought, okay, now I can do it. I wasn't ready before. So I'm so happy with this manufacturer. I'm very happy with the quality. It's in Turkey. It's close to Europe. It's a very flexible way to work when you make puzzles, and you can actually make them, without having to plan 6 months ahead. For instance, you can actually come up with an idea or meet an illustrator who's very gifted and say, "Oh my God, we have to do something," and just start working. That's so nice. Yeah, really, really nice. So this series with the chromatic tails is also made, of course, by this manufacturer, and I get a lot of comments. Since I have a puzzle always on the table, it's easy for me to say, you can feel the quality, you can take a look. And what many people in the store say is also, it's so nice that the pieces are completely matte. There is no light from, or what do you call it, mirroring effect, anything from the lamp you have above your dining table. Most of us normal puzzlers, we sit by our dining table. We probably don't have room for an additional puzzle table in our homes, and so it may not be the best place to sit, but that's what we do, because we just have to puzzle somewhere, and we can avoid that with these puzzles. So I can only recommend, the matte puzzles, and the cut, the piece cut is amazing, I think, as well. So yeah, and that was how it started. It actually started once I found the manufacturer. That wasn't in China, I have to say. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got one more quick question, actually. I think you and Michelle met in January. And then when you spoke, had you ever heard of speed puzzling before? Or was it like a surprise?
I had heard of it.
Okay.
Have a few Danish influencers who come by my store from time to time, and they also write me. And there's also a Swedish influencer. I'm not sure if she does speed puzzling, actually, but at least one of these influencers has talked about speed puzzling, and she has been doing speed puzzling for a while. And then I think last spring, it must have been just before we met in Nuremberg, Michelle. I heard about it in Denmark too. Still, we're a very small country, and we have a relatively short history of of puzzling, not like in the UK, where I mean I have UK puzzles, so many of them on my shelves, so many British puzzles, but it's beginning in Denmark as well, because there is actually a relatively large puzzle community. And there are so many ways to do puzzling. I'm kind of not a slow puzzler, but I do it to enjoy it. I'm completely amazed about the speed of your participants, but I can also see the fascination, the competition or the competitive element, and trying to push yourself. And it's a skill. It's definitely a skill to have the overview of all of these tiny pieces and make them come together in a short period of time. So, I mean, good mind work, really good brain work. So it's starting in Denmark. I had heard about it before, but I hadn't really gone into it. Most of my clientele are older people, or it's fair to say older people in my shop, and they don't do so much speed puzzling. I think your audience is quite relatively young, isn't it? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is relatively young. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So but I had heard about it, and it was so exciting, I think, to speak to Michelle and hear about what you do. And you have obviously and clearly created huge success about this and made it international. I also think it's so fun to see how many different countries are participating. I mean, it's quite interesting. So you've joined people from all over the world. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what I really appreciate is that you were just so open and friendly, and immediately liked the idea, and you wanted to work together straight away. Also, you had a half done puzzle at your stand, and I didn't want to leave, but I knew I had appointments, and I was just like, I'm having so much fun. I don't want to leave. It was the one with all the mandalas all over it.
Yeah. The mosaic studio. Yeah, another challenge. A bit like this one, where you do kind of circles. Yeah, start in the middle.
Yeah. So no, that was really fun, and it was just very nice having the communication with you, and that we could set it up, because you didn't have, like, I needed 100 pieces, or at least 90 pieces, and they weren't in stock at that time. But then you made the order, and then we could work out in the schedule when we'll be able to fit it in. So. It is hard because, like, in the sense that, you have to keep the secret for so long, because it's like, once you decide, it's like, yes, this is going to be great. But then it's like, okay, production, then we have to sell them, then we have to wait until the right day and time, which is generally on a Sunday for a 1,000 piece puzzle. So yeah, before we could slot it into the schedule, I mean, here we are now in the very end of July, but I'm really glad that it worked out, and that everybody has the experience of puzzling your puzzle, and that this puzzle is now around the world in many different countries, and that more people will be exposed to your brand, and hopefully can enjoy it and follow up. So we'll chat to you a bit later. So we can see some people were getting really close to finishing, especially Victor and Marcia. So if you have any more comments for questions for Betina, feel free to write them in the chat, and we'll get to them later after the Podium interviews. We can find out a bit more. And so thanks, Betina, for the introduction. It sounds just so cozy and lovely where you are. I really want to visit you if I'm ever coming to Denmark. And enjoy the rest of the live stream.
I definitely will. I'll be watching it, and good luck to everybody who's participating. And you're always welcome in Helsingør. Please, please come visit when you can. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So in answer to my question before, I asked people, what are they doing while they're puzzling? While they're listening to the live stream. And we had some interesting answers. We have taking a bath, having breakfast, cappuccino and waffles, having breakfast before going on a 4-hour car ride. So
the bath one, I'm fascinated by. Like, I've never watched speed puzzling in the bath. I need to figure out how to do that. So.
I would just be afraid of it falling in the bath. I would.
Yeah.
I did once try to watch the Titanic while I was in the bath, but that I was just wet hands and it was just a bit too much of a bother. I just gave up after a while. All right, so back to the action. On screen, we have Lenka, Victor, Marcia, Inga, Vicky, and Anami. And here, Victor has done all of the big sections. He's done most of the border and just filling in little gaps. And Marcia also has done most of the big sections and is filling in the gaps in between the sections as well. We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the loose pieces between Victor and Inga in particular and trying to figure out who has more loose pieces, because I think Victor has some under his puzzle that we can't see. So they might be even, or possibly Victor a little ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It does look like Victor has less pieces, but I think there's some off camera. But Inga is also doing amazing. She's done most of the border, and she's just got like mainly gaps in the bottom left with the 2 color wheels and basically the papery sections left, just filling in those gaps. So now at this point, she really needs to pay attention to like the color of the paper to color match. But I have to say, because this has got such a fantastic piece cut, when you do have those little holes, it does become, you can go pretty fast in filling them, because the knob shapes are very different and the angles of the pieces are very different. So I think we're going to see things really speed up when we get down to those, just the mere plugging in the holes at the end. Astrid and Min are also doing fantastic. So yeah, a lot of people coming up, like in a group. There's a lot of people, like Anami as well is doing really well. Astrid, Lenka, Veronica, Tobias, Vicky. There's a big group coming. It looks like Victor and Marcia and Inga are, yeah, going out ahead, creating a bit of distance, but there's going to be a big group coming in, chasing that top 10, those top 10 positions.
I'm in particular, I'm watching Inga's hands fly, and I just wish I could do that fast.
Yeah, I feel like there's this kind of different hand movements. It's like if you look at Victor and Inge, you can see, like, you just feel like their hands are a little bit of like electric, a little bit like shaky, because you can feel like the tension. It's almost like their hands have little brains, and their brains are like working overtime, and they're kind of like figuring things out as they're like moving around. And then you have other people like Kristen, but also Nina Schicks in Germany, who move very slowly, and they make it look so effortless. So obviously their brain is working overtime trying to color match and pattern match, but their hands don't have that like hecticness about it. So it makes it very interesting to watch, like, side by side. Okay, Inga closing in on the bottom section, filling in single gaps, and has to do the lower border now. Just based on the number of pieces that we can see, I think it's going to be really close between Inga and Victor. But Marcia is also doing amazing. We can also see Tobias has done most of the sections. He's got the border missing and a few papery sections in the middle missing. Lenka has done the border and is, yeah, the black has, this works out really well for a black table because she's got there's so much white in this image.
I'm interested, Victor's pieces that are not placed yet are quite, like, there's one piece here, one piece here, one piece there. They're sort of all over the puzzle. Whereas it looks like Inga, by comparison, most of her pieces to be placed are in groups, like they're at the bottom left and maybe bottom right as well. So I don't know which one might end up being easier to fill in the individual piece holes or the kind of bigger holes. That's really interesting.
But right now, yeah, Inga and Victor are really going head to head on this one. I think Inga could probably do. I think it's going to be close between Inga and Victor. It's really going to be close.
I'll just start biting my nails. So exciting.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Victor has got that bottom border done, so he does have, yeah, just smaller sections to fill the gap. Come on, do the lower border, Inga.
And I'm really interested. Rachel on the screen now is using or was on the screen, is using a tray, and no one else in the people nearing the finish line has a tray. So I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, she's she's serving herself from the tray.
Oh,
and Victor does it with 1 hour and 17 minutes. Congrats, Victor. Okay, so now it's between Inga and Martia from the Netherlands. Oh, yes. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, so Inga has less pieces. She's going to tackle that border and fill in those small gaps at the bottom left. Martia has more pieces, more gaps spread out across the page. Come on, Inga, you can do this. Oh, but Martia is so close. All right. It's going to be, so that was 1 hour and 17 minutes for Victor. And this is 1,000 pieces. These are amazing times. Yes, go Victor, going second place. Oh, and I can't spell today. Oh. Come on, Marcia, you can do this. Take out third. All right, and I hear that Astrid is also doing well. I'm going to put Astrid on screen. So Kiara is also coming in. Okay, so but there will be a bit of a gap between the podium and the next finishes. But we have a lot of people coming in. Oh, and the last piece for Marcia. Third place, congrats. Amazing. 1 hour 19. So just 2 minutes between first and third places. Fantastic.
Oh, take a breath, everyone.
Whew, wow,
yeah.
That was really good. Oh, that was amazing. Okay, so now I need to see who is coming in next. We have Lenka, Kiara, Anami, Veronica, Astrid. I feel like Tobias was getting really close. I'd like to check in again with Emilia. Oh no, I have too many people on my screen now. Okay. Yeah, so we can see from the thumbnails at the bottom of the screen that there's a lot of people who are making great progress. A lot of people who are nearing towards the end, because also we have yeah, like Anna Roos, at least from the small view, looks like she's getting a lot done. Yes, I mean there is a bit blocked from the box, but okay, it looks like the border pieces are off to her right, and she's working on the inner gaps. But yeah, a lot of people making really good progress. Patrick is also coming in strong, but it looks like it's going to be about 5 minutes before we have the next finisher.
It's it is a thought I've had, like having 1,000 piece for a solo competition would hopefully kind of spread the finishes out more, for just from the point of view of recording times and all that. But I don't know, people are getting faster and faster all the time, so the 1,000's not slowing anyone down these days.
Yeah, so there was 2 minutes between first and third place, and yeah, so when you calculate that down to like pieces per minute, it's what's 2 minutes over 1,000 pieces? So it's just, microseconds faster than the next, but really impressive here. So we're at 1 hour and 22 minutes. So the time limit is 3.5 hours. So yeah, no worries if you're nowhere near halfway. Just enjoy the puzzle. You have plenty of time to do it in your own pace. And yeah, we hope as many people finish this within the time limit as possible. Minding is also doing fantastic. Only got the white and bluish pieces left over. And Veronica Volt is working on that upper right. So she has pretty much done everything else. And now she only has that top right poster with the feathers and the birds to do. So looks like who could complete the top 6? Lenka, Kiara, Astrid, Veronica, possibly Anami. Yeah, all looking really strong right now.
I'm really fascinated that you see, the last kind of holes in the puzzle kind of scattered for some people, but then like Veronica it's just one corner basically.
Yeah, and Ellen is also doing really well, sister of Inga. So Ellen has been training really hard. She's someone that I'm always impressed with her training. She's very consistent in her training and doing multiple puzzles and really pushing herself. And she is closing the gap with Inga, and we can see here that she's not far behind. I mean, she's also coming up in this next group. She could be chasing a top 10 placement. Yeah, we see her in her puzzle library on the left hand side. She's got the Jan van Haasterens, and the on the right side she has the Ravensburger.
I think it was Ellen who just listed I want to say 80 puzzles on Vented. So she's making more room in the library for other puzzles now. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, this is looking. Oh, okay. So Ellen did have just pull up a tray and that was on the chair out of view and just added some more pieces to the table. Okay, so she does have a little bit more to go. But for now, I think it's between Kiara, Lenka, Astrid, and Veronica, all with about 30, 40 pieces to go or less. And it seems to be the bottom left. A lot of people are finishing in the bottom left. Well, at least, Kiara and Astrid are also working on that side. However, Veronica's working on the top right.
Fourth is coming.
So Ellie asks, is Victor going to the World Championship? Yes, he definitely is. So yeah, Victor, how about you join us now? And since we have a bit of a break before the next finish.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, look, Kiara is about to finish. Your teammate for Worlds is about to. I think Kiara. It's coming up to Kiara. Is it Kiara or is it Lenka? I think it's going to be Kiara. Any words of encouragement for Kiara?
Kiara, you can do this. If we have 2 of our team sorters in the top 10, that's great.
What? Here we go. The last pieces. I can't believe that you're a sorter though.
I am.
I would have thought you would be the. Well, it just
I'm
shows
much better.
the speed in your team that you are a sorter. And congrats to Kiara, 1 hour and 26 minutes. Fantastic time, taking in 4th place. All right, Victor, tell us about the puzzle.
I didn't know what to think about this puzzle. I don't like collages. So we always get collages at the GJs for 1,000 pieces, and I'm like, okay. I mean,
No,
the Burger Man
Mr.
was
Burger
it?
Man was not a collage.
I mean, I know, but it was like plain colors, so also not for me. But then I'm like, okay, I need to know how to do the collages, right? Like I cannot escape from that. What if I get that at Worlds, right? I cannot complain. So I decided to try to assemble the border because I thought to myself, like, okay, I think that many of those cards that are on the puzzle are really unique, and also the pieces look different from what I was pulling as the edge. I saw, for example, with the white, so the top right corner, and the difference was that at least for me, the top edge was completely white and the right side was white and some of the background, so I could, like, sort the different borders there. And I think I did like 75% of the border, and then I gave up because I just thought that, okay, I think I have to start doing some sections that have color on them. It will be much easier than if I'm missing edges, and I was missing a lot of edges, so that was a good call because I figured, like, something is not working, I just have to go on.
So I'm sorry, just had to jump in there. We just had 2 more finished. Congratulations to Lenka and Veronica. So sisters, yeah, taking out 5th and 6th place. Congratulations to the sisters from Slovakia. Fantastic. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, and also the borders from the left and right bottom corner are very similar. Right now, when I look at them, they are not that much, but in the heat, they were very similar. Yeah, and when I decided to do the colors, I just picked out everything that was very strikingly warm. So red, orange, yellow, maybe some pink. And I took all of those and I made some islands. And then I was like, what do I do now? And I really didn't want to commit to completing all of the colorful sections first, because I knew that probably when I try to commit to doing only one thing, then it's not going to work. So I was like, okay, let's just jump into the main pile and come back and see what I'm bringing with me. So I just basically puzzled whatever I saw in the main pile, even if it wasn't connecting to anything. But also I think the circles were easier to pick out than anything else. But also at some point I realized that I am seeing many birds, and I was kind of afraid of those birds on the right. But then I said to myself, like, okay, but I still have to do this section, and they are screaming at me from the main pile, and I see them all, so I can just do that. So I abandoned the colors and I just did all the birds at some point. So I had this big chunk done. And it also helped me to organize the islands that I had, because they were too close to each other and I didn't have enough space to place the pieces that I picked. So that was difficult. Also, what was tripping me up was those 3 kind of similar cards with like colorful squares, because I only saw one of them when I was like searching the image in the first few minutes, and then I had so many of them in so many different, arrangements. And some weird pieces, and also the rainbows. I think it took me 40 minutes to realize where the rainbows are. on this puzzle. I was looking like this. Where are you?
I think I remember that. I mean, it's been several months since I did this puzzle, but I remember that there were some pieces. It looked so obvious, and yet I just couldn't find it. And it was kind of towards the end that it made sense where it belonged. Yeah, and that can just happen just because there's so much information that your brain is taking in that it's like some things are obvious and some parts it's just like my brain can't handle that.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
It looks
And
like
also-
Enemy is just about to finish. She's just got, she's left the border pieces till last. On the top left, she is back in form. Looks like she's going to take out 7th. Go, Enemy.
I'm very scared of ending with the edge most of the time.
Are there 2 pieces missing? Check the bag, check the bag. No. Okay, Enemy done. Oh, congrats, Enemy. Hopefully those pieces turn up. Otherwise, okay, it's just 1 piece. Otherwise, Betina can advise us what the missing piece policy is. Yeah. Oh, found the piece. Okay. Congrats, Enemy. Okay. So I'm just gonna, so it looks like Astrid has 20 pieces, Vicky 20, Rachel a bit more, Susanna Kirschner is also coming in close behind Ellen and Tobias as well. Okay, looking fantastic. So Enemy was 7th. So what was your favorite part of the puzzle then, Victor?
I think the birds. It was the easiest for me because I could just take every single piece and tell where it goes. Maybe not with those very small birds at the very bottom of the card, but I just had those left and they went by shape. So it wasn't that big of a problem. And also, if the big feathers are like not big as an area, but big as a line, then it's much easier to just have every single piece and be very aware if you have all of them very fast. Because if you have like a spherical shape and you're trying to assemble that shape without knowing if you have everything, so many different pieces connect to that one piece that you're missing that it's very hard. But if you are just building line and you don't have one piece and it's like in the middle, then you have one line and the second line, and it's like, okay. Yeah, so I was very happy with the feathers and the birds. And I think this is the thing that helped me to speed up in the second half, because I realized that I can do everything in this puzzle that I had left by the background color of the card. And I just went from the lightest to the darkest, but not really. I started with the lightest, and I think it was the birds. It was this small one in the middle with some kind of, I don't know what, actually, mushrooms? I don't know. Next to this circle. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So
Yeah.
this was also white, and also the one to the bottom with those like small windows of stripes. So these were the lightest ones, and also this one in the left top corner. And then I thought, okay, the next lightest pieces are kind of yellow, dirty, and can be wherever, because it was in the bottom right corner, left bottom corner, and with the rainbows and with the globes, and I think that's it. But it was like too many places, and I said to myself, okay, now we take the darkest ones. So it was the middle one, the one with like the bars of colors on the top, and the one with the square colors on the left of the Too many words.
Yeah. I'll just jump in here and just announce that we had some more finishes. So just after Adami, we had Astrid, then Rachel, Astrid, no, Vicky, hang on. Anami, Vicky, Astrid, and Rachel. So we have our top 10. So congrats to everyone who's done so far. And we have more people on screen who are going to finish in the next few minutes. Susanna K, Ellen, Tobias, Min, Anna Ruth, and Amelia. So yeah, this is amazing. At 1 hour 36 that we have so many speed puzzlers coming in. Yeah, so Victor, regarding the theme of the day, is there anything outside of puzzling that you think would make a good speed competition?
I think I was sitting for 17 minutes or more, just trying to think what to put as an answer to this question. And my answer was kind of weird, I know that. So I said that what we could do very environmentally friendly would be to make a competition in sorting trash. And who can do it the fastest, and like in the what amount, and you know, I don't know, this is what I came up with, and I don't think I have any better idea.
Well, I don't think that's a bad idea, to be honest. And it incentivizes people to do something good for the planet. But I also wondered, considering we were going through other people's answers to that question, and the number of things people pointed out already exist as a speed competition that you wouldn't guess. Maybe garbage sorting, maybe it's already a speed competition, who knows?
Maybe.
Well, I think some Germans would really be very good challenges for you, because we're very good. It's just a daily practice of sorting trash into the various recycling bins. But we just had 3 more finishes, all within like 30 seconds of each other. Min, Tobias, and Susanna taking out 11th, 12th, and 13th places. Fantastic. Oh, and Ellen hits the done. Well done. And I have to admire Ellen's beautiful background, her puzzling room, looking rather inviting there. So congrats to all those who have finished so far. Yeah, well, thanks, Victor, for puzzling with us today, and congrats on another first place. That's fantastic, and I can use this opportunity to announce that Victor was the winner of the second quarter of 2025, after also winning the first one. And I actually did a bit of a boo-boo and forgot to send him his trophy for the first one. So, and then it was, by the time I realized, I was like, well, I think we're almost at the end of Q2. So just hang on, let us do the result. And so now I can send you your 2 trophies for the Euro Jigsaw Jam. So thanks, Victor, and you'll be getting a package from us very soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Susanna K has put a comment in the meeting that she lost some time because a bird flew into her apartment, which might be a first. Maybe not for her. Maybe she has birds flying in all the time. I don't know.
And Anna R also just finished. Oh, and Anna Roos. So fantastic. Anna Roos, you're going to have to tell us what is in your background. What are all those interesting? Is it a maze, a labyrinth, a marble run? A marble run. Okay. Is it yours, or does it belong to your kid? Husband, boyfriend. Okay. Thanks. Okay. All right. So Amelia is on her last section. So she's actually got 1 section left to go. Interesting. So she is not, other people had more scattered. Inga S is working on the border. Let's see who else is nearing the finish. Okay, Carolyn also on her last 2 sections, finishing off this paper. And yeah, just having checking out how Laura has only got the birds and feathers to go, but that is a large section. It is about 20% of the puzzle left to go. And Stephanie has lots of puzzling islands. but it's going to be Amelia who takes out the next placement. And Daria is also just filling in the gaps. So I think we're going to have a record number of people finishing under the 2 hours. I mean, if we can just see the progress and how, I mean, we still have like 19 minutes left. Congrats, Amelia. All right, yeah, so Susanna says, it was also a first for me. I just heard loud flapping and something crashing into the window, turned around and screamed because a sparrow was sitting on my living room table. Well, that would actually also be a good answer to one of your other questions, which was, what is the most dramatic or weird thing that has happened during a puzzling competition or a puzzle practice? So you'll have to save that answer for the next time SJ co-hosts. Yes. Okay. Oh, and Veronica. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a bit hard to see Veronica because of just the lighting was shifting from dark to light. But okay, yeah, we can see the puzzle is done. Yeah, and that's a bit tricky. She's doing it on more like an outdoor table. And the problem with outdoor tables is that when you sit down there, they're kind of quite deep compared to the height of the table. They're not like I always find if I'm eating at one of these outdoor tables, I prefer to just eat in my lap because like the table just seems too high in comparison.
Yeah.
So I could see she sat down at some point to puzzle, and then she got up straight away because it was just a bit too high. And Carolyn is done. Congratulations. So what are we up to now? So the Susanna Kirscher was 13th, Ellen 14th, Anna Roos 15th, Anna R 16th, Amelia 17th, Veronica 18th, Carolyn 19th, Daria 20th. Whew. Okay, but we are having a lot more people coming in. Yeah, so Marcia was not staying for an interview. I'm just going to check, is Inga going to join us? Yes, all right, Inga, if you're there, you can turn your camera on.
Hi. You see, I'm a bit backlight. I'll move.
Okay, your camera is off. Oh, hang on, maybe I turned it off. Oh, there we go. There you are.
Hi.
Hey, that was an exciting finish there. I thought you could maybe take out Victor, but it was just a few little pieces, but a fantastic effort.
I'm already very happy to be close to Victor. That's always nice.
What was your impression when you saw the image?
Oh, I immediately loved it. Jim was like, oh my God, it's such a pretty puzzle. I didn't know how it would be as a puzzle, but it was just such fun. I really loved it. It's just so many. I'm a chaotic puzzler, so I'm just finding some, just gathering random pieces. I have all these different sections without even putting them where they belong, and then at some point try and put it in the grid as it's supposed to go, but I didn't do the edge, so I loved it. Yeah.
Well, do you like collage puzzles in general? Is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're always just really cute. So maybe that's it. I'm not really into the huge landscapes, like 1,000-piece landscapes. It will be, well, I'm practicing them now for Worlds, so I'm doing those puzzles as well. But this, I was already like, this one can stay in my collection because this one's just very, very pretty.
Have you had Penny Puzzle before?
No. I didn't know the brand. I always keep the stream on. I love the story about the name of the brand and a little shop. So next time I'm in Denmark, I will definitely go there. Yeah, it's no, I didn't know it, but indeed it's a very nice, good quality, and I enjoy the story behind it, and I'm very curious about the other puzzles that she mentioned. So
yeah, I've never had a Penny Puzzle. before, but I'm gonna, well, when we chat with her again later, I'm gonna ask her where we can buy her puzzles outside of Denmark, because I want to have some. But what's the temperature where you are right now? Is it hot where you are?
No. Well, I don't know. I think it's like 20 degrees probably outside. I'm not sure.
Sounds
It was
reasonable.
very hot during puzzling, so I opened the door, but now I've started to cool down. So now I'm like, it's a bit chilly. 19, apparently.
It's totally reasonable. But I guess when it is hot, do you find that that affects your speed at all? Do you slow down, or maybe it makes you go faster? How does heat affect you?
I had it at the European Championship. It was so hot. I had sweat dripping from my face, so I had to like get rid of the sweat because it was dripping on the puzzle. But so that definitely took up some time, and of course focus. But we've had some pretty hot puzzle competitions. But what I did at Worlds and at the last puzzle event in Trier, I took off my shoes and my socks so that heat can go out through my feet, because that always does a lot, actually. I forgot to do that at Europeans, but I'm aware of it again now. So maybe it will help.
That's really interesting. I've heard of people taking their socks and shoes off to speed puzzle for other reasons, like feeling grounded and things like that, but not for heat. That's really interesting. I'll remember that. Well, so I guess between 500s and 1000s, doing them solo, do you have a preference? Do you prefer 500 or 1000?
So actually, when I started speed puzzling, it was all Jan van Haasteren for the Dutch Championship. So I only did 1000 piece Jan van Haasterens because that was what we did at the championship. And I only started doing 500 pieces much later on. So it was very different. Sorry, my sister just texted me because she's listening to the interview about, oh yes, the shoes, I should have taken them off as well. So I just got to laugh. Now I forgot what I was talking about.
Doing 1000 piece Jan van Haasteren.
So I think mainly, I don't really care about the amount of pieces as long as I like the image. I do like being like super fast, of course. It's always a nice feeling to just do, but I also really like doing 1000 piece puzzles, and I'm trying to do them a bit more now because I've been doing so many 500 piece puzzles that I need to practice with the bigger puzzles a bit more. So yeah, I think it just depends whether I have the time to do a longer puzzle, of course.
Well, do you have any regimen that you're doing now for Worlds, getting ready, that like you do a certain number of 1000s per week or a certain number of 500s per week, or is it just whatever happens?
So I've been considering what my weaknesses are, and I feel like I've gotten a lot faster on easy puzzles, but I feel like I've sort of stayed the same on harder puzzles. So I got a lot of super crappy difficult puzzles from Ellen's puzzle library, and they are now waiting for me to do them. So right now I'm just going to do a lot of very difficult puzzles, and I practice with Ellen every week as a pair, and now we've also been getting some horrible difficult 1000 piece puzzles practice. We actually, this week we did the one with the cactuses from Worlds from last year as a pair. So those kind of puzzles that are like not fun at all, but still good practice.
My team did that one in teams last year, and I can imagine what it's like as a pair, because it was bad enough as a team. So.
Yeah, and we didn't really have we did it at my house, but we've just moved here and we're still sort of busy with remodeling. And I didn't notice, but I didn't put up a light yet above the dining room table, which was where we were puzzling. And then at some point it started getting a bit dark, and we were like, oh, this is bad. So I put on other lights, but it's not the same.
When my partner and I moved into our house in March, the first thing we did, literally the first thing we did, what before we even moved in, actually, was put a new light above where the puzzle table would be. So, yeah.
But I didn't even realize because like it's summer, so it stays light pretty long, and I just hadn't puzzled that late into the evening yet that it matters. So I didn't even I hadn't used any of the lights actually until we were puzzling. So it was surprise. So for our next practice session, I have arranged for some more lights.
Well, what's your fastest time on a 1000 solo? Or do you know?
On the first attempt, I had, I think, 1 hour 13. I
Oh,
think,
so
something like
you're
that.
really close. Your time today was not far behind that. So that's really amazing.
But I haven't done that many speed puzzling first tries on 1000. Like with the young Hasses, it's completely different times because they're much more difficult, even when you've done them multiple times. Yeah, but I will start doing them more now, like the following 2 months until Worlds. So I might get some more times, but who knows? Still trying.
Well, do you have any favorite brands that you like for 1000 speed? Like maybe Jan van Hasteren, since you've done so many, or maybe something else because it's just nicer. Or
I mean, for Jan van Hasteren puzzles, the quality is very well. It's pretty good, but I don't. Since I've started doing other types of puzzles, I realized that I like other images more than Jan van Hasteren. But it is what I grew up with. But so I realized they were not my favorite puzzles, but only until after I started doing other things, because at first I didn't know any better. Also, like a lot of people are surprised that when they're not speed puzzlers, when I show them like my puzzle collection, they're like, whoa, are these puzzles? Because many people still look at those vintage Ravensburg, like these landscapes that are just horrible to do. And nowadays you have so many fun puzzles, it's completely different. But I haven't done that many different brands for 1000 piece puzzles. I think I have, well, I've recently been doing a few. I did the Truffle, but then like the not premium quality. So those are just so many false fits. And yeah, Ravensburger is nice, of course. I have some cherry patsies, which are okay. I recently bought some Clementonis because I was in a toy store buying a gift for my niece, and then the puzzles were on sale. So I don't know how they happen to end up in my bag, but sometimes it's just the way it goes. And all of a sudden you have new puzzles. But they also have pretty good quality, but I think they also have very different box sizes, and I don't know if the quality differs between type of Clementoni. So yeah, but still expanding my range. The Euro Jigsaw Jams help, so I have some Happilies, and I have new brands to discover, which is one of the things I like most about Euro Jigsaw Jams. Especially in the beginning, it's like I don't know any brands except for Jumbo and Ravensburger.
Yeah, I think Happily is my favorite. So yeah.
But the images are all super cute, and it's just they're great.
Yeah. Well, so when you do a 1000 piece versus a 500, do you have different strategies? Like, is there anything you know beforehand you will do differently for 1000, or does it just completely depend on the image?
Well, one thing that for 1000 piece I always think is like, okay, the sections are way bigger, right? So what would be fairly doable in a 500 piece puzzle might be super hard in a 1000 piece puzzle. So at least I always tell myself, okay, it's 1000 pieces. So be aware of that when you're puzzling. So that's what I tell myself. I want to practice the 1000 with trays as well. But I also think sometimes it would help me with a 500-piece puzzle, but my trays are still somewhere in a moving box. I don't know where. So I need to find them, and then I can try that as well, because I think that would also make it a bit different. I think I left the edge till the end, but well, part of it, but for 1000 piece puzzles, at some point, like the edges sort of move back into the main pile for me, because I just start moving stuff around and put all the pieces on one side, but then the table is only so big, right? I mean, that I have a pretty big table, but then they sort of merge, the piles merge together. And then you cannot really do the edge as the edge anymore at some point, because there's like a couple that were missing again because they moved. So I think that's something I could improve for 1000 piece puzzles, especially if I leave the edge till the end, but not completely till the end, right? So it's if it would be literally the last thing I do, then it's fine, but it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah. Well, just out of curiosity, do you ever watch the EJJs that you participate in? Do you ever watch the live stream afterward to see how other people handled something?
No, not really. Very hardly ever. Because then I'm like, okay, I can watch this live stream, or I can do a puzzle in the same time. So usually I just grab another puzzle and do that. But I have, especially in the beginning, I've watched a couple. And when Ella and I started to do our pairs practice, we also decided to do one of the pairs puzzles from the Euro Jigsaw Jam. So there was like, I think Kristen and Linda were like basically on the screen the whole time so that we could compare our recordings. I don't think we did compare them. At this point, we did record it as well to check what we could do better. So those kind of things. But I think Ella is more of the doing more of the analysis and comparing with other people, and I'm usually just like, I'll just puzzle. Though I do like seeing some different strategies and then experimenting with them. When we were at the Europeans, I was watching the first preliminary round because Jim was competing there. Then you had like at the front row, you had Veronica and Mercedes, and they had like completely different strategies. And especially Veronica was really interesting for me to see. So I was like, would this benefit me if I would try? Because she did the edge, but she didn't put it together. And then she just worked outside in, and all her pieces stayed within the middle of the puzzle the whole time. And it was, for me, it was like, whoa, this is very different, because usually, you know, people have pieces spread out like at the top and the side of their puzzle area. So it's like, that's very interesting to watch. So I do like seeing different strategies, and then wonder, okay, would this help me? Sometimes I do a puzzle like multiple times in a row and just experiment with strategies, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. Do you have any puzzle stores near you? Just thinking of Betina's store, that you might want to go back and see her store tour later. But do you have any puzzle only shops near where you live?
I don't think so. Mainly it's just like the toy stores or bookstores that also sell puzzles. But I don't think we really have puzzle only stores.
Yeah, I think that's same where I live in London. There's nothing like that. Just, you know, same as toy stores, bookstores, but also garden shops for some reason sell jigsaw puzzles. I don't know why. But
flowers.
Yeah. But I think that is something that I wish there were more of. But seeing, like, I don't know if you went to Puzzle Garden in Budapest. That was, of course, amazing. Yeah. So I think I just either I should start a shop myself, or maybe someone else will do it where I live. But yeah.
Oh no, I love the Puzzle Garden. Just a store only puzzles. It was amazing. We didn't have room in our luggage to buy anything, so we only bought one really small puzzle.
I can't remember how many. I made sure to leave space in my luggage so that I could go shopping at Puzzle Garden. But I think about 4 or 5 there. So yeah.
But like, it's very hard to visit a puzzle store and then not buy any puzzles. That's just like torture.
I don't know how you did it.
I did buy one, so.
Yeah. Well, so now, Michelle, do you have any more questions?
What was you didn't answer the question for the theme of the
No.
day. Is there anything that you are good at? Like, I mean, I know you do lots of rock climbing. Could you be a speed rock climber, or is there something else in your life that...
Well, there's speed climbing is actually a sport, but it's very different from rock climbing or bouldering because it's always the same route and you just do it super, super fast. I have not done that ever, but I've watched it at the Olympics. I was just considering it. When I saw the question, I just couldn't think of anything. So in the end, I left it blank. But when you were interviewing Victor, I remembered something that was kind of fun. So my boyfriend does a lot of disc golf, which is like golfing with frisbees. So you do the least amount of throws to reach the basket at the end. But at one point, we did it with his friends, and they're like, "Oh, we are running out of time." So they started to sort of speed running disc golf, and it was super chaotic and insane. So because it's a precision sport as well, right? You have to be pretty precise. So that's also kind of interesting to add a speed element to those kind of sports. Also, maybe regular golf, or I don't know if you would have to do that as fast as you can as well. There's also some board games that have like real-time speed rounds where they're like, you have to do it, you only have 1 minute to do all the stuff you need to do in a round, for example. So you can pretty much add a speed element to anything, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty fun to watch this speed frisbee sport.
It was absolute chaos because normally you just stand there and you're like aiming where you want your disc to go, but then they were just like and discs were flying everywhere and everyone throwing at the same time. And it was...
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it like normally you do one after each other, or you will...
Yeah, so usually the person who's furthest away from the basket gets to throw. And everyone stays behind that point so that you won't get a disc thrown into your face, because that would hurt a lot. And then you just all walk further towards the basket, and when you reach your disc, you throw it. And you count the amount of throws you've done. I don't know, in a competition, maybe it will be a bit more structured, but in general, that's the way we do it.
It seems like we can also just add speed to everything just to make it a little bit more fun. Well, fun / hectic.
Will be very stressful for some things if you add speed.
Yeah.
It's good to also sometimes to relax, right? Or do a casual puzzle. It's just sometimes that's also better.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, well, congratulations on a well-deserved second place today with a 1,000 piece puzzle. And yeah, thanks so much for being here and chatting with us, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so, and Arya just finished. Congratulations. Yeah, so we're up to, let's see, about 34 finishes at the moment. And we started with more than 80. I think we sold 90 puzzles, but not everybody registered. That's why I'm not completely sure. So we had over 80 registrations, but I feel like we sold 90 puzzles. Yeah, so congratulations to Marcus. He says he did his personal best for 1,000 pieces, not only for the first time, for seeing one and doing one as a first attempt, but also the fastest time ever. So that's great. And yeah, Veronica said the reason for her bad lighting is she was doing it in the tent of a caravan, and the thing to put the phone on the tripod was missing, so the angle wasn't great. So I was correct, it was an outdoor table, but now I understand. But she took it anyway on holiday. She took it camping with her, so we appreciate her dedication, despite the less than perfect circumstances. That she still competed in a speed competition and did it at less than 2 hours, I think. So that's fantastic. So we just had a few more finishes: Arya, Cornelia, Milka, Rika, and Mooney. Congratulations. Yeah, unfortunately, Rika's camera was off. We weren't able to see her. Okay, so coming up. Okay, Susanna's got her last 2 pieces. Katrin, just a handful left. I'm going to add some more people to the screen, and then we'll see who else. Then we can have a Susanna. Well done. Let's see Katrin. And Katrin is complete. Okay. Yeah, so Betina, if you're there, you can join us again. We have a few more questions. Okay, maybe she's just taking a break at the moment. Let's see who else is making great progress. Okay. So on screen right now we have Lisa, Jessie, Maya. Oh, Maya, Maya just finished. Okay. And off again. Stephanie K, Aaron, and Melanie. And looks like Anna L is also coming up to the close. All right. So Betina, if you're there, you can turn your camera and mic on. But she might just be taking a break at the moment. Oh, there you are again. Hello.
I'm back. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing to watch. And 1 hour and 17 minutes. Oh my God. It's just...
What's your time for a 1,000 piece puzzle, Betina?
No, but I've never, I have to admit, I've never sat down, and just never stopped. I always go to and from a puzzle. And then I have my family, and they come and do pieces, and I always have a puzzle in my store that I'm working on, and if there are months that are more quiet than other months which are very, very busy, and then I've experienced, I've been caught up in a puzzle completely, not all day long, and then a customer comes and there's another break where I can stand and do the puzzle. And then all of a sudden, a customer finishes my puzzle. And of course, you have to be grateful that people just, start puzzling in your store. But still, it's a bit of an odd feeling not to do the last piece. It doesn't feel like you've really done the puzzle,
So you've done multiple puzzles of varying proportions, depending on who else was helping, and did some pieces.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's been like always. Yeah, most of the time I just need to turn up the volume here a bit. Yeah. So no, so I haven't actually sat down like you do here in the competition and just focused 100% until I did the last piece. I will have to try that at some point. But yeah, when I'm home alone one day, I'll do it.
Well, then start with a smaller puzzle. Do you have smaller puzzles, or do you only have 1,000s, like from your own brand?
So I have several piece counts. So I have these, which are mini puzzles, tiny. 1 second. Eventually, this is the size. So this is the postcard size. So this is the smallest puzzle. I mean, also physically the smallest puzzle. But otherwise, the smallest piece count is 100 for children, also 150 for children. Then I have 500, 1,000, and completely new, not really launched yet, is 2,000 piece puzzles. which will be launched sometime in August, I expect. So I have them in my store, but I haven't had time to put them online. And it's because a lot of people ask for 2,000-piece puzzles. That's the kind of feedback I also get. So, but the majority of the puzzles I do are 1,000-piece puzzles, just like in this competition.
Mm-hmm. But so you also, within your own brand, you have children's puzzles. Are they using the same images as the 1,000s? Do you have an example of one of your kids' puzzles there?
Yeah, I do. 1 second. Yeah, so you know, some as I mentioned in the previous interview, I have a lot of older customers, and I have grown-ups who come and ask for jigsaw puzzles for their old parents who are in retirement homes and may have done puzzles all of their lives and may be slightly demented, but still have the ability to do something that they used to do many years ago. They keep their skills in certain areas, even though some of their memory is lost. And these illustrations from my Home of series, so this is Home of Hamlet, and actually the jigsaw puzzle store is there, but this is an Elsinore at Helsingør jigsaw puzzle. This originally came as a 1,000-piece puzzle, and then I thought maybe this could work out as a combined kids puzzle and a jigsaw puzzle you would buy for an older parent, because the illustration appeals to children, but also definitely to adults. So this one comes in 150-piece as a 150-piece puzzle as well. And then with extremely large pieces, I have the Hans Christian Andersen jigsaw puzzle. This puzzle contains 26 fairy tales by Hans Christian Andersen. So originally it was made as a 1,000-piece puzzle, but then I turned it into a 100-piece puzzle as well. So these two appeal to young children and very old people, and to all of the rest of us as well. So this Home of series is what you could say. It's naive in one sense, but it also tells a story. And I think many of us probably like a jigsaw puzzle that tells us a story as we put the image together. So that is what these do for many different age groups.
That's lovely. Yeah, I really like those images as well. As you say, they appeal to all ages, and they appeal to the children because of the nice bright colors and the nice sections, but also to an older audience as well, who can appreciate the details, and it has a sense of character. It kind of reminds me of like a cozy fairy tale story. It has that type of feeling.
And I think the dilemma is a bit, if you with some brands at least, that if you want a jigsaw puzzle with fewer and larger pieces, maybe you're left with dinosaurs, or, you know, I mean, something that definitely appeals to children. And I think it's a shame that adults who have been jigsaw puzzling all of their lives can't find illustrations that actually would match their age. So that's what I'm trying to do with these jigsaw puzzles. And thankfully, you could say that the illustrations they tell the story and bring you, in these cases, into the town that they depict. You know, you become part of the town. It's like walking down the street. If you've been there before, it's like maybe revisiting a place. And that is what the entire Home of series is actually about. So, and it has become a series. I didn't know when I made the first one, which was the Elsinore puzzle, but it became a series because this one is the Copenhagen puzzle. It's called Home of a King because Denmark got a new king 1.5 years ago. And he's actually there. Can't see him, but that is the story from the day when he took over from our former queen. But it is Copenhagen on a winter day, as you would see it from high above. And this also kind of tells a story about Copenhagen: old buildings, new architecture, all sorts of things you can do in a big city or a metropole like Copenhagen. And this is going to come as a 2,000-piece puzzle as well. Maybe also in a kids version, who knows? But these are the kinds of illustrations that you can work with for many age groups. And as you say, there are the bright colors, and you can sort in colors just like all of your participants have done, with the circles and doing these islands of the jigsaw puzzle. So they work really well that way.
Well, there was a question in the YouTube chat earlier asking if you will have an advent calendar this year.
I will. There will actually be 2 jigsaw puzzle advent calendars. So there's a vintage one, which is an updated reprint of one I did 2 years ago. And then there'll be an advent calendar by Gaia Marfurt, an illustrator who has done who does these home of jigsaw puzzles for me. So she has done an entire advent calendar, and they will be available in September. That's my expectation. That's what I have agreed with the manufacturer, at least. So I'm crossing my fingers. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Where can someone buy penny puzzles outside of Denmark?
That's a very good question. So I do have retailers, here and there. So in the States would be, because I'm just trying to remember them by heart, but in the States it would be, for instance, Puzzledly online. In Canada it would be what they call Jigsaw Puzzle Warehouse. Canada Puzzles, that's what they're called, Canada Puzzles. In the UK, it's Asterisk Jigsaw Puzzles. Yeah. In Sweden, it's pusselfantasten.se. And then I have some French retailers. I have Trevel as a retailer, and I have Mon Joli Puzzle as a retailer in France. And in Germany, Michel's shop has had a few of the jigsaw puzzles as well. And there's another German called Happy Shops. And this weekend there's a complete chaos on my web shop, and it's because of the theme that I have. But eventually it will, hopefully during next week, it will be much easier if you're from abroad to actually order also from me, because Penny Puzzle is still a small brand. We do go to trade shows, and but I guess that because of the illustrations that we have, among other things, we appeal to more to smaller shops or gift shops perhaps who have puzzles as well as many other things. But these were just specific jigsaw puzzle stores that I mentioned, because we also have different gift shops in different cities all over Europe. I also have some Australian retailers actually, also down under, very far away. Yeah. So yeah.
And you can add Germany now.
Yeah, I in Germany. Yeah, exactly, with you.
Yeah, so I have to keep, of course, when I have other products there, because I did order multiple puzzles from Betina at the beginning. I do have them sitting there like waiting to go on. So now that we've done the competition, we can add the rest of the Chromatic tales to the store. If anyone wants to get that, we'll also add, we have some other 1,000-piece puzzles there, and we'll also do another order at some point and get some of the other ones that Betina has been telling about. So you will be able to get some from Germany in the future as well.
Fantastic, because Germany is a very important country. We would love to, yeah. Also because you have a large audience, so it makes good sense, yeah, for you as well. So yeah, so the way I work is I work with different illustrators, and it's just, you know, a blessing to work with so many gifted creative people. I have a select range of illustrators that I like to work with, and what's the most amazing thing is that I create, I write a creative brief. I have a complete idea of what I want, you know, this city or something special situation. And I describe it. I may add some images for inspiration, stuff like that, especially if it's from a city and I want something very specific. And they just return with the most amazing sketches, and then they start coloring in, and it becomes even more amazing. And I'm just amazed, you know, somebody who can just sit down and draw like a whole city on a piece of paper. I think it's fantastic. So I feel so blessed to be working with some of these illustrators, and Gaia Marfurt is one of them, the one who has done this film of series, and she's also made this jigsaw puzzle advent calendar, which is, I think, I think on the increase. More and more people would like to do these during Christmas time, smaller puzzles once a day. It's what you can sort of fit into a busy Christmas schedule. So, yeah.
Well, if you could go back in time to when you were starting penny puzzles, like at the very beginning, is there anything you wish you had known then, or anything you would do differently at the beginning?
Yeah, I would probably be thinking about concepts for jigsaw puzzles in a different way that I have. I have been lucky to unknowingly starting concepts within the penny puzzle brand. I had no idea when I did Home of Hamlet, which was the first Home of puzzle, that it would become kind of a series or a concept. But I think that if you work with things a bit more knowingly, you can be much better at planning. But it turned out to be something that people like, the Home of series, and something with international appeal, even if it's only Helsingør in Denmark, you know, this very small town, historic town in many ways, but still. So I think working in concepts, and maybe even with the same illustrator, you know, getting to know the illustrator really well and creating a very good connection can take you very, very far. And everything I've done with penny puzzle, I've just started from scratch. I am in many ways a true entrepreneur. I just jump into things and see how it goes. And that's also what I have done with these jigsaw puzzles. Finding, as I mentioned also before, finding a manufacturer that is a good manufacturer, not finding a manufacturer. There are so many manufacturers, but finding one that you feel you can really trust. I mean, if there was an easier way, I don't know. I don't think there is an easy way. But that was actually the hardest part for me, finding a really good manufacturer. I think. And it means a lot to you people too. I mean, when you sit and have this competition, and you, Michelle, when you pick a puzzle and you test them yourself with your expertise, I mean, it has to be good stuff for you to put it into a competition like this one.
Well, have you ever been to the factory where they make your puzzles?
No, I haven't been to the factory, but I have met my manufacturer twice. He goes to the Nuremberg trade show where I met Michelle also. So we meet there. I've actually never been to Turkey. I would love to go to Turkey at some point, and hope to visit him there at some point in time. But we have met there, and I've had a good chance to a good occasion to discuss various, you know, if there's been an issue or me having special wishes for special cuts of pieces or something. So that is actually where we meet once a year, and then we email on an extremely regular basis. We have a lot of emails going back and forth. We have very good communication. But eventually I will go. I would love to go and also be able to film some behind the scenes to show what it looks like in the puzzle factory.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, I think, because that's something I have always wanted to do, is go to a puzzle factory, but I never have. And so I really like it when companies, brands can show us behind the scenes, so I can pretend I went to the puzzle factory.
I would have to ask him if he wants me to come by, if he would be ready for a visit. Yeah, I would love to go and see it and just, say hi, because I mean, obviously I have one contact person, but I communicate with some others as well, and it's always nice to be able to meet face to face. It's always interesting. It's always very good for the communication in general. So yeah, I would love to go and visit.
Oh, I think SJ just dropped out of the meeting. Unfortunately, so she'll have to find her way back in. Maybe there's a technical issue. Yeah, so I don't know if you caught it, but actually we are, so Speed Puzzle, our brand, is now also producing puzzles. And I started with a German manufacturer, which I was very happy with, but then I recently switched to the same Turkish manufacturer because the second puzzle that I did, I was really pleased with the quality, but I noticed that when I was sliding the pieces in, there was just a bit too much friction on the material. And as I was like moving things around and I was doing it quite quickly, I just felt like sometimes I had to like push a piece like 2 or 3 times before it slipped into the hole. And I know that I didn't have this feeling with this manufacturer, and so I made the conscious decision, even though I was like 95% happy with the German manufacturer. I just felt like, especially for a speed competition, like every time you have to push a piece like 3 times to get it into the hole, that slows you down with like seconds, with multiple seconds. And then I just found when I did it again with another one from this one, I was just like, oh, it just goes so smoothly. It just glides into place. And so it's even for the speed, the speed aspect, little details like that just add to the enjoyment immensely.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you're going to be very happy about that choice of manufacturer. And I also just love the piece cut. I have to say, I love that no 2 pieces are the same. And when a puzzle piece fits, there's no doubt. And it actually does click into place the first time you try to put it in. And it's such a fulfilling experience, I think. It's really good. It feels really good to do one of these puzzles. You're going to be so happy with that choice. And I did hear you mention it, that you are making your own puzzles. So would love to see them.
Yeah, it's a fun new process where we are learning about it. It's a process. It takes time to figure everything out.
It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah. So what are you now? I have questions. Is it only for your competitions, or is it also for your shop, or
both? So we are ordering amounts, so small amounts compared to other companies. Like I know other companies, they do minimum orders of like 2,000 units per puzzle, but that's just, we don't need 2,000 units of a puzzle. So we started with like 130 for the first 2. And now that we've switched to the Turkish manufacturer, we've ordered 250 units of each puzzle. So the idea would be to have 150 units for the competitions, and then still have some left over to place in the store afterwards.
Good idea. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, would love to see them for my.
Yeah, so we're doing something a bit different. We will be using artwork from our participants. So participants can send in an image for consideration. So we've had people send in some photos and graphics designs and paintings and things like that, which we will be so we have but it took us a while to get to that point because we just needed to figure things out first and kind of make our own mistakes and then before we can start representing other people's work. So we have 5 images that are produced from, like, you could say, friends and family.
Yeah.
And then we have one that's on its way, that's coming from an EJJ participant, and then we've identified like another 4 images from participants that we would then like to produce in the next batch. So, but yeah, as you know, there's the production schedule. It takes time to get things into action.
I can't wait to see them. It'd be interesting to see. And I think working with your community like that, I mean, that's a brilliant idea. Really good idea. Yeah. And there's so much talent. There are so many talented people who, paint or illustrate in different ways. Very good idea.
Mm.
Really
Yes.
is.
So we have a question from the chat, wondering about what kind of, so don't know if you want to answer this, but you could, I'll read it out anyway. Wondering about what kind of startup capital one would need to get a new brand going.
Oh, so yeah, that's interesting. I think it depends on your level of ambition. It depends on, it depends on a lot. If it's something you want to live from 100%, you need a larger capital than if, for instance, you have a job and you do this as in the beginning as a side business. If you start up a puzzle brand as a side business, you only need a smaller amount of capital to get started, I would say. And if you run it along, maybe a regular, some kind of salary you have, and then eventually you can quit your day job and turn your puzzle business into your new day job. So my recommendation, looking at everything, is to play it safe always, because if you go out, take big loans, stuff like that, you get under a lot of pressure to sell very fast, and maybe that won't happen. Maybe the market is a bit slower when you start up. Your customers need to find out, who are you, what is this puzzle brand. It does take time, but I would always say start small, see how it goes, and try to grow organically. And then you won't need a lot of start capital in my opinion, to begin. Again, do you want to just sell online in your own store? Would you like to have retailers, in your own country? It's another kind of job to attract retailers. Do you want to go to trade shows? That's very expensive, I have to say. Really expensive to go to trade shows. But of course, it's a marketing investment. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the actual initial cost of getting puzzles printed is not that much. You need to make it worth it. You need to get 100, like basically the minimum order quantity is 100 units of a puzzle. Anything less than that, it's not really worth it. So you could say, for example, if you wanted to do 100 units of, well, I'm talking about 500-piece puzzles. I didn't look at 1000s, but I think a 1000-piece puzzle is only slightly more expensive than a 500-piece puzzle. Let's say if you got 2 designs printed, you could be looking at like 2,000, couple of thousands of euros, which is not huge for starting a business. And then from then you could start that already, just have a little web store in your own home while you still have your full-time job. And then as you go, then take in more designs, then look at marketing and other things. But the actual printing, I mean, you just need to find a manufacturer, and there are many. I mean, there's many in Germany, there's many in Poland, and many in the Netherlands. And if you ever go to a trade show as a visitor, you will see a lot of companies that actually offer that. And pretty much also, so many of the well-known puzzle companies also produce. So that's why you see like the treble piece cut in multiple smaller brands, because they use the treble factory, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But definitely keep it as a sidekick in the beginning to So you can actually focus on growing your brand rather than focus on the stress that is put on you because of a large investment, perhaps. So that would be my recommendation. Start small. Always. That's what I have done the whole time. I'm not much of a risk taker, I have to admit. And then I think it's much more funny to try to grow organically, and then get some positive feedback. Listen to your customers above all. Ask questions. It could be on Instagram if you have a following or are about to create a following on Instagram. Get into dialogue with the people that you would like to be your customers, because they have so much feedback to give and so much experience with jigsaw puzzles and the different brands and what's good, what's bad, what they like, what they don't like. So listening to that, answering or asking questions, and just learning from this line of business. I mean, there are so many brains to pick from just by going on social media, really, and learning from that.
And how did you at the beginning have contact with customers? Like, did you just launch your business and then people started coming and following you, or did you, like we heard from the Sunshine Puzzles lady, that she actually started hers as a crowdfunding project where she said, like, these are the images I want to bring out. Who wants to be a part of it? Who wants to support that? And so she knew from the beginning what people wanted and that people were ready to support. Or did you have a community of fellow puzzlers where you heard that from, got your feedback from?
Yeah, so initially I started when we moved here to Helsingør, and on Facebook there is a group just for this town. So I actually use the local community. I mean, you could say neighbors. And of course, there would be a lot of people in a town who's not interested at all in jigsaw puzzles. But there will also be people who are interested in jigsaw puzzles and who want to support local businesses. So that was actually where I started, and sort of getting known very locally in Helsingør. And then it has grown from there. So I have used the local groups where I live to begin with. And then there are some specific puzzle groups. I guess every country, every town, it's so different from country to country, but have these local groups about jigsaw puzzles, exchanging, buying, doing, having a jigsaw puzzle bingo, whatever, also on Facebook. And asking questions and reading answers and comments there to learn. And then on Facebook, I created a customer group, which people could just, join. It's called the same as my online store. And it's a really good group. So I ask questions there. I do surveys. I still do surveys. What would you like? If I did this, what would you think? And I get so much good feedback from there. I think it's always interesting to know what my customers think, and it should always be the direction. I mean, for any business, if you really want to sell what you're doing and make your job easier to get into dialogue with your customers. I mean, serious dialogue. Also because many customers would really like to share their experience, good and bad, with your products, but also with other products or other brands puzzle brands that they try. So you can go a very long way also with your marketing effort. Not spending money because you're starting out from scratch on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Like you, it could just be presenting what you have, telling your story to an online audience. But obviously, you have to start somewhere. And that's from zero. So, and that's always kind of frightening, will anybody look at me? Will anybody listen to me? Is anything I do interesting? But eventually it will be, I'm quite sure.
Sorry, my laptop just quit working a little bit ago, so I'm back though. But I wanted to ask one more question. Of all the penny puzzles, do you have one that is your favorite? And if so, what is it?
Yeah. that's a very good question because I think it is probably the Home of Hamlet one. It was the first one I had illustrated by an illustrator, and it sort of said, it has been very well received. I have learned so much from it, from making this puzzle, and it has also because I've received so many positive comments about what people like, and why they like it. So that has been for me, it has been a very good starting point in the puzzle business. It's so much easier, so much more simple if you do like a mini puzzle, this size. You can put almost anything on a mini puzzle because it will never be really difficult. But if you have a lot of, for instance, a one color surface or something, you will get a specific kind of feedback, and many customers will say, "Ooh, it looks difficult." But with this illustrator, with Gaia Marford, she understood immediately what doing a good puzzle was all about. I was very fortunate, and so we just have a very good cooperation about the illustrations in general. But this is probably my favorite. But also my stall is there without the bow. It was before the bow, so she put it there. I didn't ask for it. She put it there.
Oh, that's adorable. She put your shop into the puzzle. Give us a close-up. Hold it up a bit closer to the... Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
That was my
There's
stall.
a little piece of penny puzzle in the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's something special that you can do with customized puzzles.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, just like I think Jan van Haasten, I think he's always in the puzzle, isn't he, somewhere? That's what I've heard from some customers, at least.
Okay.
I think he is one of the many characters somewhere. I haven't spotted him yet, but Jan van Haasten, hardcore fans, they will tell you that he's very often in the puzzle as one of the characters.
Okay, I only have a 500-piece puzzle from him, and it was one of a school class, and there were not any old people in the class, so I don't think in that one, unless he was like on a poster in the wall or something like that. But I know that there are many other like Easter eggs that are in every single puzzle. But okay, now I'm gonna have to look out for Jan van Haasten in the Jan van Haasten puzzle.
Yeah. At least that's what I've heard. Yeah. So it's a bit the same, but I think the Home of Hamlet is the probably my favorite illustration, and doing this also taught me a lot about more formally, requirements for a good puzzle and the variation, and that was also the variation in the island island kind of islands that you put together as part of the large puzzle, and it's the same way I work when I design puzzles myself. Also, chromatic tales that I put in these images as small islands in the large illustration. So yeah, no, Home of Hamlet has to be my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, especially when there's like a sentimental tie in there. But maybe you should consider that when you work with Gaia again, that somehow there's like something personal to you, like somehow embedded in the image.
I could do that.
Yeah, there was another. Was there a question? Oh yeah, so we have some comments. Johannes K says, I really like the structure in the puzzle, so of chromatic tales. Julie says, I love puzzle Easter eggs like that. So yeah, so now whenever we see the Home of Hamlet, we're going to look for Betina's little puzzle store. And Sandra loves Gaia's artwork. She said you can also see the Swedish flag in the corner. Swedish or Danish?
Yeah, so up here, this is actually Sweden, because from here, from Elsinore, we have a view to Sweden. Oh. We can get to Sweden on that ferry in 20 minutes. So, yeah. So Sweden is just over there. We just managed to include Sweden.
Oh, that's fantastic. Then we can hop over on the boat as well to visit Sweden. So there was one. Oh yeah, another question is, do you plan to release more mini puzzles?
I do, yeah. I actually do plan to release more mini puzzles. So the Jigsaw Puzzle Advent calendars coming are 24 mini puzzles. And following those, there will be some more mini puzzles. They will be in a different design than this one because, I just love this box. But these are made in China. And as you say, in very large quantities. And I don't make things in China anymore. So I've decided to move all production closer to Europe. So it'll be in a different box. But I think during autumn, there will be some more new mini puzzles. That is the plan. Yes.
Lovely. And will you have puzzles in 500 pieces?
Yes, I do actually have a few penny puzzles in 500 pieces. Do you want me to show them?
Yes, please.
Just a second. I'm just going to get them.
And meanwhile, we had finishing in the last few minutes, Fleur and Jacqueline, Irma, and Jessica. So fantastic. I mean, I think we're going to see the majority of people finish. We're already at 2 hours and 46 minutes. We have a 3.5 hour time limit. Angelica Puzzlefox is very close. She's going to be finishing in the next few minutes. And Marina only has one small tray of white pieces left. Katarina and Wendy's got her last 10 pieces. So looking good for everyone on screen right now. Nora and Everly also doing fantastic. All right, Betina, you can show us.
So I picked from the puzzles that I have in my store. So this is also Gaia. This is a 500-piece puzzle. Christmas wintry puzzle. And I did, most of the 500-piece puzzles I have are actually winter or Christmas themed. And it's because, coming back to asking questions in my customer group, at some point I asked, because I have been looking at other brands for my store, and I asked, why are so many Christmas puzzles with 500 pieces? Because I thought it was a bit difficult to come or to find jigsaw puzzles with the Christmas or winter theme with 1,000 pieces or even 2,000 pieces. And one of the explanations I got, which makes sense, is that during Christmas time or during November, December, everybody's so busy. So they don't have time for anything more than 500 pieces. And I thought, okay, maybe that's right. Maybe because there's so much on the calendar and December is a short month in many ways. 500 pieces is better. So most of these 500-piece puzzles have become quite kind of Christmas themed. So this is called Winter Fun, Snowy Landscape by Gaia Marfurt. And then I have 2 Swedish ones by Jan Bergerlind. Slightly more difficult because of the brown area. I have done both of them. So this is one of them with the Dala horse, traditional old Swedish wooden horse that you use for decoration. And I just love his so true to life gnomes. I think they look exactly like I imagine gnomes would look. So this is one of them. And this is another one, which I think is so cute. I love this horse. I love the snow on the trees and these hard-working gnomes there. Just all 500-piece puzzles. But then we're in the Nordics. So Gaia also made me a Santa Lucia, Swedish tradition jigsaw puzzle. I mean, this is so cute. And we compromised. So I wanted the Santa Lucia children to walk through a town like Helsingør, actually, and she wanted them to come out of the woods. So we made a compromise. So she created a small town in the woods where they walk. And I mean, it's an amazing puzzle. The light is amazing, and you can almost hear them singing. It's quite beautiful. 500 people. And the last one is Christmas night. Slightly religious, but I think it's very beautiful. It's Gaia's own interpretation, 100%. I really love it. It's also a bit difficult. A lot of the houses look the same, so slightly challenging, but 500-piece puzzle, very, very lovely, I think. And then just about to be released, in the vintage series is this one, a jellyfish jigsaw puzzle. And there will be more 500-piece vintage inspired jigsaw puzzles again, because I have this fascination for, all of these old illustrations from many, many years ago and before internet. So I like that. This story.
Yeah, I think your brand has a very distinct style. You can feel like there's like certain warmth and coziness, but also with like a throwback to older times and valuing, the beauty and the detail of cataloging, whether it be color wheels and the different color palettes, or some of your designs look a bit like the scientific, like how they would draw the birds or the jellyfish and record them for scientific purposes. So there is a certain, definitely a brand feeling there that comes across.
Yeah. So these are some of the 500-piece puzzles that I have at the moment, and there will be more, definitely, because I have been contacted by some of like your participants, jigsaw puzzle enthusiasts, exercising or training for these speed puzzle competitions, and I think 500-piece puzzles for exercising is quite popular. Isn't that also what you hear in your communities?
I think so.
Yeah, and then you're going to get over it, pretty fast. I mean, incredibly fast, but still, in my world, incredibly fast. But yeah, so also for that purpose, it's kind of fun also to present something a bit different from the other brands in a 500-piece puzzle.
Definitely, and if your range keeps expanding, then they might come into consideration also for like a solo 500 competition. So yes, definitely keep bringing out some more 500s, but it sounds like you've got a really great brand concept, and I love the stories behind it, all the details, how much thought you put into each puzzle, how much thought you put into like the experience that you want your customers to have. And I mean, it's definitely reflected with the comments in the chat. Sandra and Rika, Nana, they're big fans of your brand and really want to support your brand. And now you have a lot of new fans.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah.
So I just want to thank you so much for the cooperation, for this wonderful puzzle, and for your openness that we could really get a behind the scenes look at what it is like to have a puzzle company and to design interesting puzzles. And just want to thank you so much for being here today and sharing that with all of us.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to being here. I think it's been incredibly interesting to see how many skilled puzzle enthusiasts you have been able to, assemble for a competition like this one. My God, they are so fast. I can hardly believe it. And it was so great to meet you at Nuremberg, and I hope to see you again maybe next year at Nuremberg. If you come to the trade show, it would be great to meet up again, get a chance to just say hi, hear how things are going. And thank you so much for this, and for the time that you took to look into my tiny little jigsaw puzzle boutique as well. I hope to see many of you if you ever get a chance to get to Denmark, Copenhagen, Helsingør.
Wonderful. We'll definitely share the details on Instagram as well, and I'm sure I just checked Instagram, there's like 20 messages there, so lots of people are sharing pictures and stories, so you're going to have a lot of free advertising on Instagram as well. All right, thanks so much, Betina. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, so we are coming up to the 3-hour mark, and we just had some more finishes. Well done to Lynn, Angelica, Katarina, Wendy, Wendy and Marina who finished previously. Oh, and Everly is done. Oh, Everly, get your done message. Congratulations, under 3 hours, fantastic. Oh, I mean, and this is a long time. I mean, 3 hours puzzling intensely by yourself is quite exhausting. So I hope everyone can keeping themselves hydrated, having some snacks on hand. It's still a bit of a while for some people before they can have their lunch, but we are getting more and more finishes. SJ, have you puzzled in very intensively for 3 hours straight?
That's a good question. I probably have, probably in earlier days of speed puzzling before I started keeping my times. I'm sure I was, doing thousands for that long. But thankfully I'm fast enough now that I rarely go over about 2 hours. So,
Yeah, no, good on to everyone who's keeping on, staying focused, and yeah, got their eye on the goals. So sending our positive vibes and encouragement to Kristen, Catriona, Nora, Sal, Eliza, Alexandra, Marie, and Heike. All right, so we'd like to have a chat now with Arya from Indonesia, who finished quite a long time ago. So also a fast speed puzzler. So one we'll have to watch out for at the World Championship. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Jay.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into speed puzzling.
Well, I'm Indonesian, obviously, but I've lived in Melbourne 2 years ago. In 2023, I was kind of like Melbourne was pretty cold, like for the whole year. So I need something to do inside. So what I did was just like researching what I like, and I was like, okay, I like puzzling, and I found Karen Puzzle's video about puzzling, and I started as a casual puzzler, like most of us. And then at the end of the year, I tried to do the speed puzzling, and it was actually pretty fun. I like it a lot. I like the adrenaline of speed puzzling. Yeah.
Awesome. And you did that. Did you find others in Melbourne who also did speed puzzling? Did you know at that point that they had like state championships and online events in Australia?
Well, at that time, I think I joined pretty late. So I only went to the one state competition in Victoria. I met some people there, but that was my first competition ever, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. And the puzzle they used at that time was pretty hard. It was the Thomas Kincaid one, which the picture was pretty blurry, and the colors kind of mixed and all that. So it was pretty hard for me, but it was a good experience. And then I moved back to Indonesia. I didn't have any in-person competition, so I was actually really looking forward for any online competition. My first online competition was organized by Katrina from Australia, and yeah, it was amazing to be able to practice the competition before Worlds, because it was very nerve-wracking. I was very nervous at the first time, and I'm sure at Worlds it will be much worse because it will be in person. So it's good practice for me to just prepare myself mentally.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, I mean, Katrina organizes the online competitions in Australia. And so you were also able to participate from Indonesia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I did 2 of them,
two of
actually.
them. So what did you learn coming as a casual puzzler, and then you went to your first like in-person competition? Obviously, there was a completely different experience to puzzling at home. What was your impressions, and what did you learn? Like, oh, maybe I should do this next time.
Well, my first competition, I feel like I was puzzling really messy. Like the pieces were all over the place. I dropped a lot of pieces, and I need to learn not to drop any pieces. And yeah, so after that, I try to puzzle more neatly, you know.
No, that's a good point. And what about when you join the online competitions? Oh, congrats, Eliza. Well done.
Well,
What
for
about when you join the online competition? What was your experience of joining Katrina's?
Well, Katrina's choices of puzzles are harder, I believe. It was pretty hard. But uh, what I learned the most is that my table is pretty small. It's smaller than the normal competition puzzle. So what I learned the most was that I have to use the space, like the small space that I use to puzzle more effectively. Because the first puzzle that I had was the Galison puzzle. They have bigger pieces, and it's hard to puzzle on a smaller table. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's why for
that's
1000 I tried to put more the extension with the cupboard or something. So it's like, okay, I have more space to spread the pieces.
yeah,
saw
no, that's a good point.
I saw on Instagram today you've got extra kind of flap on the table
Yes,
for the 1000.
yes, I was prepared. I was prepared, but I didn't use that space that much though because I don't know, it was just too far from me.
Yeah.
But it was comforting just knowing it was there should you need it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so you've now so you've signed up to Worlds. You're one of 3 Indonesians heading to the championship. I also saw that Nadia G, so she actually lives in Germany, that she's also going. Are you in contact? Do you know who the other third person is who's coming from Indonesia?
Well, I know Nadia from Instagram, and then when she visited Indonesia back in, I don't know, like a couple months ago, I met her. And we speed run together. It was actually fun to talk with another speed puzzler. But the other one, I believe her name was Maria. I couldn't find any social media, so I'm not sure about her. But I know that she participated last year also at Worlds, but I couldn't find her.
How do you think I mean, so in a few weeks, I imagine that they will then open up on the within the website. You will be able to contact other puzzlers. So that's a feature they made last year. So if people wanted to contact to make pairs or teams, so maybe that will be an opportunity to connect when that feature comes available. Can you tell us a bit about how puzzling is viewed in Indonesia? Is it something that every child grows up with? Is it like in Germany, kind of it's just expected, everybody's done some puzzles as kids, or is it like what kind of brands do you get? How is it there?
Well, in Indonesia, I believe puzzling is wildly unpopular because people see that puzzling is a bit of like a boring thing to do. We like most Indonesian likes to go out. We have small community in Facebook, like Indonesian puzzle Facebook, but only like less than 100 people are there. Compared to our country size, we have a lot of people, but only less than 100 people join that group, which is pretty sad. And I believe that I'm the only Indonesian that do speed puzzling so far, because the other one just found out of puzzles and started getting into the hobbies. So it's not easy to do any practice with other people. And I try to bring a puzzle and do speed puzzling at work. So I try to introduce them about speed puzzling and try to let's do it together, like for me to practice pair puzzling as well. But they're very, very slow. So it's not a common thing in Indonesia. And for the puzzle brand, I don't think that we have any Indonesian brands, but we have like a toy store. They collaborated with Chinese brand, I believe it's called Toy, and they have some quite a few of selection of puzzles, which is pretty nice. The quality was pretty nice, but we don't have any like a puzzle store or anything. So like a big brand from international brands are pretty hard to find in Indonesia and pretty expensive actually.
Do you have any desire to like set up your own competitions in Indonesia and get, if you can find people to join?
Well, I would love to actually, but I'm the only one currently that loves the puzzle. Like the other people in our Indonesian Facebook group, if I talk about speed puzzling, they're just like, no, I'm not really into speed puzzling. I don't know how fast I am. So it's like, okay, for now, only me. It's okay.
At first, you've got to grow the puzzle community, and then people might. So right now, it's just like, no, I do it for relaxing, or that's too stressful.
Yes, yes. I will introduce them to speed puzzling just little by little.
Yeah. So what was the inspiration to go to the Worlds? Did you notice that there was no one or no one or very few people representing Indonesia, and you're like, yay, this is my chance? So
Yes, I love to compete. Like I love competition. So I was like, okay, I want to go, and also I want to represent Indonesia in general, but I also want to represent any other Asian country that is, I believe, is very underrepresented in at Worlds. We have a very small contingent there. It's and also they don't really perform that well at Worlds. So I just want to represent Asian countries at Worlds.
Yeah, so no, that's right. There's a lot of Europe representation, America, Australia. Oh, congrats, Alexandra. Hit done, write done. You got to write done. Okay, she's admiring her puzzle that she's done, but let's see. Maybe she forgot that she has to write done. Okay. Yeah, no, and when I think about the world record attempt as well, I think the only Asian team that was in the world record attempt was Japan, possibly, because I think there's just very few associations, because I also know that people from Thailand have gone to Japan to compete in the Japanese nationals. And then I know that there's a Chinese competition because Donna Louise made a video about it, but I don't know if that's part of the federation, and it's very different. They use plastic puzzles. You get multiple puzzles at the same time. You can do them in any order. You have like 3 hours to do them. So it's a very different type of competition. So it's really good that that's there. And also, raises the question of like, how many different ways can you do a puzzle competition? But as you say, there's not that much Asian representation, and I think you can hopefully you can drum up some awareness and raise that in Indonesia, especially maybe in a year or two we could see an Indonesian association.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, I just want to show people that smaller country can go to Worlds and participate in a Worlds event. I don't think that I will win or anything, but like I just want to show people that I'm there to compete with other people, so that any other Asian countries will join again next year, probably.
Yeah,
well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I see your times on Instagram, and you're super fast. Like I'm always like, wow, you're so good. So I think especially you've not been doing it for like years and years, so you're only going to get faster, and I think you'll do great at Worlds, and I think you will inspire some people. So I'm wishing you all the luck.
Thank you so much, SJ.
Do you have a pair and a team for Worlds as well?
I do actually. I have a pair. I'm pairing with Janice from Malaysia, but she's living in Sydney. Also, my teams are from Australia. Like 2 of them are Australian, Jason and Jonathan. So we form a team for Australia. But for the pairs, we are representing Indonesia. But since the last rule updates, I think we just like international puzzlers.
Yeah, so that is a good point. So there has been a rule update regarding mixed teams. So before it was if you had mixed nationalities, you just pick one nationality to represent. But now only if you have three, like if it's a team of 4, you need to have 3 people from the same nationality to represent that nationality. And yeah, in the pairs, so if you're just 2 different nationalities, it's now considered like international puzzlers or something like that. That also affects my team because we were going to we had registered as Germany. We all live in Germany. 2 of them have German nationality, but 2 of us don't. But since that rule update, we are now an international mixed team. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that you like the competitive aspect. Are you also do you also do other competitions, other sports or hobbies?
Well, I don't have any other sports, but any competition shows or like a reality competition shows, I love it a lot. So I just like watch it, but I don't have any other hobbies other than puzzles. So I was like, okay, this is the puzzles that this is the hobbies that I love, and I love to compete. So I'm not doing it.
Hmm. So where do you get your puzzles from then? Do you have to order them in from Australia, or is there a good puzzle seller online perhaps in Indonesia?
Well, when I moved back from Australia, I bring a lot of my puzzles. Mostly the 500 Ravensburger one because I use it for speed puzzling practices. But the rest I get from Indonesian marketplace and sometimes from Amazon if I want to get the newer Ravensburger. But it costs a lot. Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, and knowing that's a point for those of us in Europe who are used to like seeing new releases come out and being able to buy them the next day, that for many people in the world, it's really hard to come by. You have a really small selection, and then you have to pay really high shipping costs to even get those.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this this preliminary round where in an individual competition where you will get 2 puzzles? Like, how are you preparing for that, and how do you think that if that might affect your placement compared to if you only had just one puzzle and you just had no choice?
Well, yeah, I feel like it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit unfair, but it is what it is. I just have to study the pictures, or I just practice with what I have actually. Like I have a lot of past releases here, the past year releases, but for 2025 releases, I only have few. So just like I just need to study the pictures because having them all, getting them all is going to be pretty very very expensive. So I just hope that I will get the one that I practice. Yeah, but since I believe that they don't only use the 2025 releases, right? They will use past releases as well. So I was like hoping that um, I will get the one that I practice and I have.
Yeah, SJ, what do you think of the rules?
I think I think they're getting really complex and confusing probably for a lot of people. I would say probably this year more than ever, people are going to go on the day to do a puzzle and not know what the rules are because it's just too complicated. So yeah, I think it's just a general observation, but I do think it would be good if the rules were just a bit simpler and easier to remember.
Oh, you mean because also like there's one set of rules for the individuals, then different for pairs, and then different for teams. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be very interesting because it's comparing different skills. It's not just the skill of how fast you are, but also at your level of judging your own ability compared to a puzzle. And I mean, I've even now, even though I've chosen puzzles like 100 puzzles by now, I still get things wrong. I still misjudge things. I still think something is easier than it is, and I can still look at a puzzle and think, oh yeah, my time's going to be like between here and here, and it can be out of that. So it definitely adds another, as you say, another level of complexity to the competition, and it's something we just don't know. We're just going to have to find out how it actually plays out. Yeah. Yeah, so sorry, can you say your name again? Because I may have been pronouncing it incorrectly. Can you tell me how you pronounce your name?
Well, the correct way to pronounce my name is Arya. Like you roll the R, but I usually just tell them at Arya, like, you know, like so it's easier for people. So, but like any just spell it the way you want.
Okay.
It's Arya.
So my daughter, I have a daughter called Arya.
Oh really?
But instead of a Y, it's an I. Aria. Yeah. So what are your expectations and your hopes for the championship and for your experience there?
Well, for the world, I just wish that I can reach the finals so that I can maximize my time, because it's just pretty expensive to go there. I just want to puzzle as much as I could. So my wish is just to reach the final and get a lot of puzzles.
No, that's a good point. It's like you want to advance, so you get another puzzle and you get to make more of your time there. I would like to mention that there is a pop-up store happening from the brand Peace Relax. So if, for example, if you don't happen to be puzzling on that day, or you're looking for something to do that's puzzle related, the Peace Relax is going to be having a pop-up store at one of the hotels nearby, so not at the Dome but nearby, and they're going to have some special competitions. There's going to be a giant puzzle. They've got lots of fun little challenges. Like one of the challenges is that you're going to get a puzzle inside a plastic bag and you have to assemble it while it's in its plastic bag. So it sounds like they have a lot of free puzzles and a lot of like fun, cool things. So they said that everybody should come by and check it out. So that's something else to do. I don't know much of the details yet, but I did get a message on Instagram that they are going to be doing that, which I think is great. I know they went there last year just to check it out. And I think it's a great thing to offer when you have so many puzzle enthusiasts there who also have free time if they're not puzzling and they also want to fill it up. And they're going to do something with like a really giant puzzle. So this is like a 40,000 piece puzzle or something like that, and everybody gets to participate in that. So,
that's awesome. I will check that out.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so we have just over 11 minutes to go, and we have Marie, Heike, Catriona, and Kristen still puzzling. So just want to send you all our positive vibes and encouragement. Keep on going. Just do another 12 minutes. Just find a few more pieces and do your best as you can.
Well, I wanted to ask Arya, how did you like the puzzle today?
Well, I really liked it. I love collage puzzle, and this is it. And a lot of gradient colors. I like it a lot, especially the bird part, the bird section. I feel like it's really perfect for me because it's busy. I like busy puzzles, so I can just like pick the pieces and know where that is. But I think I did a mistake by using the posters instead of the box because it's pretty small. I couldn't really see the details, so I was like try to look into the posters really hard, but it's okay. I did my best, and I think I made a new personal best on 1,000 pieces. So it's a good one.
What was your time today?
I believe it's around 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay. Do you do many thousands for speed?
I did some. I love 1,000 pieces puzzles to speed because it train my endurance. So yeah, I did some, but like this one is the fastest one I did. I love it.
That's interesting. And do you find like is that something you need to work on, endurance? That 500 is, you don't need as much endurance. So is 1000 something you find more of a struggle?
Well, sometimes I'm struggling with difficult 500 pieces, and I feel like if it is very hard in the middle of puzzling, I just like, okay, I feel like I'm done. I want to give up, but like I just want to practice to not giving up. Like 1,000 pieces, you puzzle longer, you have to focus longer. So it's like I have to practice not giving up by practicing 1,000 pieces so that I can apply it to the 500 pieces.
Oh, I think that's for me at least something I tell myself, like I think it in my brain as I'm going, like, don't stop, like,
Yeah.
so that don't give up. Yeah. No, it's do you have any different strategies when you're doing 1000 to 500? Is it like, would you do a border first in 1000 but not in 500? Anything different like that?
Not really different. It's the same, just like the piece count is different. I usually did the border first, but for this one, the border is kind of the same, so it's pretty hard. So I was like, put it on the side and do the other one first.
Well, it's what's the temperature like today where you are?
It's very, very hot and humid. It's just like 33 degrees and very humid. I was sweating. I had a lot of sweat. So I was like, I don't know if it catches on camera or something, but if you see me doing puzzle, I was like doing this a lot. So it was just too hot and humid. I was sweating.
I did not notice, so don't worry.
Hopefully no one noticed. But yeah, it's very hot today in Indonesia. So
Yeah,
it's not a challenge.
is that something you need to like account for yourself? Like, do you have to practice in the heat to know what it feels like to puzzle in the heat?
Yeah. I think some people told me that in Valladolid, at the dome, it can be quite warm. So I think it's a good practice for me to get used to the temperature.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna say, is the dome, especially longer in the day, it gets quite hot in there and stuffy, I think, is the main thing. So so it's good to practice now in the heat, and you'll be just, plowing when you get to Spain.
Yeah, hopefully.
Trying to think, do you have a favorite brand by any chance?
I really like Ravensburger, actually. That's
Okay.
my favorite brand. I try to collect the ones that I love, like a series or something. But yeah, since it's pretty hard to find in Indonesia, I just try to get everything that they have.
Yeah. Well, do you have like one single favorite puzzle of all time?
Mm. I don't have any actually, but I really love the 2,000 pieces puzzles that I did from Ravensburger. I think it's called Pyramid on the Nile. It was released in 2000, in the year 2000. I posted on my Instagram. I really like that one because it looks really cool, and 2,000 pieces is a perfect puzzle to do casually because it took longer, so you have more time to puzzle,
Mhm.
and it's not that difficult. So yeah, it's nice. I really like that one.
Well, do you think you'll make it a regular thing to go to the World Championship? Maybe it depends how you feel after you go this year, but do you hope to go again in the future?
I really hope I can go again in the future, but probably not next year because of work. It's hard to take time off that long. So yeah, probably, I don't know, maybe in the future for sure.
Well, if you had any words of encouragement for people who have never been to Worlds but want to go but have never signed up, what would you tell someone who's thinking about going maybe next year? What made you decide to go this year and things like that?
Well, if you like to, if you come from smaller countries, like you don't have that much people to puzzle with, or having a conversation about puzzles, you really should to consider to go to Worlds to meet like-minded people and puzzle together with other people and make a lot of friends. That's what I really want to want if when I go to Worlds this year. I just want to meet people that I only know them from Instagram and just talk to them in person and puzzling with them as well.
Yeah, I mean, just on my own experience, I went to Worlds for 2 or 3 years before I had Instagram, and I didn't make as many friends those few years. But it was also, 2019. There weren't that many people at Worlds that year. But once I joined Instagram, that's when I really made lots of connections. So when I went to Worlds, I could, at least feel like I knew everybody and then talk to lots of people and all of that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were there in 2019, SJ.
Yeah, I've been every year.
Oh, you're a world championship veteran.
Yeah.
Well, I've put puzzling _ Arya, so your Instagram handle in the chat. So I think you're going to get a lot more follows and a lot more puzzling Instagram friends after today. Yeah, I just had one more question. We have about 3 minutes left. So one more question. Will you have a chance to practice team puzzling before once you arrive and you can meet your team members, or have you already puzzled them when you lived in Australia?
No, we never met when I was in Australia. So the first time to puzzle with them would be in Spain, but I'm not sure when. But I will ask them when will they arrive, and hopefully we can practice before the competition. Maybe do 1 or 2 puzzles would be good, just to see how it is.
Yeah, that'd be good if you can, just have that meet up and kind of make a little plan and just find a little flow about how you work together as a team. But no, that's fantastic. Well, please come and say hi when at the Worlds. And it'll be great to meet you. And we'll definitely keep an eye out for Arya from Indonesia on the live stream. Yeah, and thanks so much for participating today and sharing with us a little bit about your puzzling journey so far. And I hope you really enjoyed the experience.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so sorry, I missed Karen before. She was there, but her camera was just malfunctioning, but we see her now. Yep, everything is fine. So we've got Marie, Heike, Katriana, Kristen, and Karen. And I like how Katriana, she did that, the feathers and the birds, because it's such a big chunk. So it looks very satisfying to have like this big white corner done away. And then she's got the ring attached to that. And then actually with Kristen, that's the part that she's leaving towards the end. But just try and find a few more pieces as we come up to the close.
Oh, less than a minute, guys. Keep going.
Yeah, and it does seem like a lot of people, it's a bit hot and stuffy today where they are. So yes, practicing for puzzling in the dome. All right, we're coming up to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Well done, everybody. Thanks so much for participating. I mean, it's a great effort to do a 1,000 piece puzzle solo. Only crazy people do that. Crazy and cool people. So let us know in the chat how many pieces you have. Catriona, just in case she doesn't hear us. Okay, yeah, so now you can count them up, put them in piles of 10 and let us know.
46, that's so close.
Oh, 46. Oh, that's not that many. Oh, keep going, Marie. Oh, she'll be done in about 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, so is this the type of puzzle that you would like to do? Is this one that you want to now borrow maybe from Aaron and give it a go?
Yes,
Or Rachel?
I've been admiring it, and I really do like it. So maybe yeah, Aaron in particular, I'm probably more likely to see him at some point because he comes to London sometimes. But yeah, we'll see if I can get a copy.
Yeah, and so what's next for you? So you've been at the Europeans. Do you? I hear you're skipping Worlds this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Is there any competition or some puzzle project that you're working on to look forward to next?
There's no big thing on the horizon. Not until next year at this point. But like today, later in about 3.5 hours is a puzzle guzzle. So I'll be concentrating on puzzle guzzles for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, fantastic. And can you tell me how the puzzle guzzle works? Is there a live stream? Is there something we can watch, or is it just an internal competition? Like,
it's not currently got a live stream. I just heard they're thinking about experimenting with that in the sort of not far off future. They'll try it, see how it goes, so that it might be streamed in the future, basically.
Is there commentary? Are Graham and Aaron chatting during it?
Yeah, so Graham, Aaron, and Jody, they take turns, and it's a really good format, actually. I think because they all know each other so well, they have so much to say. But then I think 3 people also is. I've never seen puzzle commentary with 3 people before, but it works really well. So yeah.
Okay, so there are 3 of them commenting at the same time, or just one per 1 week and one the next?
3 at the same time, so they all just kind of like talk to each other as people are going and progressing.
Well, I always find the comments from Graham and Aaron always very amusing, and recently we've been seeing a bit more from Jody since she's been participating and also answering the questions, so I can imagine there's a very fun and jovial atmosphere for puzzling in that competition. And actually, I'm going to do a puzzle guzzle soon. So Aaron is coming to Trier and he's going to bring me a puzzle. So I've booked one. Is it in August? I'm doing one before Worlds. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, good luck. You'll do great.
So then I'll get to experience it for myself. All right. Yeah, so we have we have Marie had 46, Kristen, Heike, and Karen have given their times. So we're just waiting for Catriona. Yeah, and are you also doing a puzzle tussle next time in the near future before Worlds?
We don't have one scheduled at the moment. So we've not done one for July. We've decided definitely not to do one for July. And I think we might take a break for August just for summer. It's harder to get all of us, around at the same time. So we'll watch the space, I guess, but we'll figure out soon if we're going to do an August one.
Yeah, and so for those who don't know, SJ, Catherine, Amelia, and Ellie. Do a competition on Instagram where SJ, Ellie, and Catherine compete in the competition with the same puzzle, and then Amelia commentates, and that's always a fun one. So yeah, because recently the last one you did, was that the one with the trefoil?
Oh boy, what was the last one we did? Hang on, I have a list of them.
No, there was one from Worlds, I think.
Oh yes, it was the travel collage with the wrong image on the box. Yeah, that was fun because we got that as a pair at Worlds, but I hadn't done it as an individual, so that was nice.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah, when you have a pairs puzzle and then you do it as an individual puzzle because you do parts that you don't remember because you didn't actually do. So it is always an interesting experience to redo it as an individual.
Yeah, I know. We have good fun with that, the puzzle tussle. I mean, part of the fun is picking the puzzle because we each buy it ourselves and just have it sent to us. And so finding a puzzle that is available in the UK, the Netherlands, and Bulgaria, it's a fun challenge.
Yeah, I'm imagining everything is available in the Netherlands, but maybe not everything is available in Netherlands or sorry, in the Finland or Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And is there always 500 pieces, or have you also done one with a smaller piece count?
We've done 2 300-piece puzzle, like two separate, like, so 300 pieces twice. So I don't like those as much, interestingly. They're fine, but it just feels too fast. Like I want more puzzle for my money.
That's true, yeah, because people have asked me for a 300-piece competition, but I'm not sure. I mean, I know that Frisia did one in the in-person event, and I think that worked really well, because also she was able to use one that was from a different country, so one that we hadn't even seen in Germany. I think it was from the American catalog, so something like that works really well. I'm not sure for an online competition because most of the companies that produce 300-piece puzzles, they're for kids, and they're the larger piece count. And so the only brand that I have seen, maybe someone can correct me, the only brand that I can see that does 300 piece counts there with adult sized pieces is Ravensburger, and then that makes the selection quite small. So if I were to bring out an online competition with 300 pieces, then there's only like, I don't know, 15 possible puzzles. So I'm kind of torn about that. I know that there is a demand for something a bit shorter and quicker, but we'll just have to see how the market develops. All right, so we've got everybody's piece counts now. So thanks so much for participating and sticking around to the end. And thank you to those who's following along in the chat. And I see Aaron and Abby. So Aaron says maybe it can appear at some point. So you mean maybe there's a live stream? I think we needed to have a window into the puzzle guzzle competition. And Abby says the puzzle guzzle was great. If you're in the UK, I wholeheartedly recommend joining. And yes, Frugina agrees that it is hard to get 300-piece puzzles that are not Ravensburger. And even their selection is not very big. Exactly. So we'll watch the space. I mean, I know that people are wanting it. But for now, we'll keep it at 500-piece puzzles and do a 50-plus club, which is generally easier puzzles with a 2-hour limit. So we hope that works out. All right, well, thanks very much, everybody, and thank you for a wonderful live stream. SJ, it's been great having you as a co-host. I really enjoyed it. And thanks, Betina, for the wonderful puzzle and making this possible. And goodbye, everyone. Bye.